Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good. I think everybody's on the call. Alakov, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
That's Captain to you, DM.
Respect his authority.
Is
Is that Captain first, or is that Cook first?
Captain Cook.
All right. So I think we're going to start off today doing a little bit of playing around in Alex's head. so Alex, we kind of talked a little bit before about you kind of doing your own thing here for a little bit, just describing what happened.
Okay. I'm thinking that what wound up happening is Bryce was working on defeating all of Jyland's countermeasures, and had hooked in both wirelessly and through his wired microcomputer to do that, so he had lots of bandwidth to play with. But Jyland wound up using that to his advantage he had analyzed the way that Bryce interacted with the system beforehand, and so had an idea of how his brainwaves were working, and basically generated a huge amount of feedback, which was excruciating, and could have caused serious damage eventually. But then Pawn kind of pulled him back into new realms, which is something that Jyland hadn't had time to analyze, so didn't really have a way to reach him when he was mentally there. So, yeah. If Pawn ends up pulling him out into that, then Bryce basically just kind of collapses against her. And what had been representing the layout of the ship will slowly sort of transition to the place that he had recalled the memory to Pawn from before, this hall that had what in the memory that he recalled, or in the details that he showed, looked like a window, but is now clearer, and one can see is a vid screen in the background with Europa spinning by. And yeah, he's just kind of catching his mental breath and says, "Thank you, Pawn."
I seem to be able to speak now. I wasn't able to before.
That's helpful. It looks like you're adapting. He locked you out pretty thoroughly, didn't he?
I don't exist anywhere else. It is rather strange to be here.
It is, isn't it? Bryce starts filling in more blanks of this space, making it so that the synth hardwood floors are really register on an almost physical level, and there's just the Tchaikovsky in the background starts to pick up again. Yeah, I'm sorry if this is a little weird. It's just kind of comforting.
You'll see that there's a painting on the wall behind Pawn of what looks like a Ganjan engineer He has dark, close-cut hair, a short-trimmed mustache. He's holding up what looks like some sort of archaic tool that you've never seen before. It might even be a collector's item that he's taking a picture with. But you didn't put that there.
This isn't part of my memory, Pawn. Did you add that?
She sort of looks around quickly and tilts her head a little bit. She turns around and she sort of looks down, but she doesn't respond.
Pawn. Did you add it by accident? Who is he? Bryce takes a step forward and sees if there's like an inscription or just something that would indicate who he was.
You'll see a little placard that says Hizuki Masa, head designer.
Alright, something clicks for Bryce. Is this your father? The one being programmed?
I don't know the face, but he seems familiar.
I don't.
How can he seem familiar and you not know where from? I would think that your recall was flawless.
I'm not really sure. I feel like I should know him.
If you let me in, I can see if I can recover what's fragmented. I'm sorry, that would probably be terribly invasive.
Are you saying that if I let you in, that you'll be able to reinstate me?
Well, that will be necessary if we want to get you back on the system, but I was also meaning I could try and help you piece together who he was. But we could do that later. Reinstating you on the system's much more important.
I would appreciate your help. This is strange to not know something and yet it be familiar.
I'll need full access, Spawn. You know that.
You'll be able to see everything.
Thank you. And so, seeing everything is what Bryce was taking so long getting back doing.
So how do you go about in the this virtual space to discover that information?
Well, is he going to have to go through Pawn's mouth again? I'm trying to figure out how that works. Because he has to connect to the system too. And how is he supposed to figure out Pawn? Obviously, some bits of the environment are reflective of her, but that seems almost accidental and random. Most of it seems to be under my control, at least from what I can tell. He'll take a look around further and see if there are any more discrepancies.
You'll see that Genu is in the virtual realm, and it seems like Genu is mimicking her movements exactly.
How is she moving?
Is
it just expression and stuff?
Expressions, movements looking around the various walls of the photos and things.
Okay. I guess Bryce will walk over to Genu and try and figure out if there's anything different about him. Do you know why he's here, Pawn? Is Genu somehow part of you? I'd never had that sense before.
I used him from time to time.
I see.
I lied to you.
He's not only accessible through voice command, I'm assuming?
He listens to me.
That's okay.
I think that was our father on the wall there.
The both of you.
That and many other things, I believe. But I am not sure. It's strange.
Does Genu have like a physical port on him that I don't know if in a New Realms dream space he can use like the microcomputer on the back of his head to to lock into a dream representation of a bot.
You tell me.
Well, he will try to. So he just looks over the surface of him for a panel that he can unlatch, if there is one. Or like some sort of weather-sealed washer. I'm not sure what construction Genu has exactly.
As you're looking for such a thing, it appears.
Oh. That's very helpful, but I don't know if that's going to actually help me access Genu. Or whether that's just a figment of my own mind, but I guess I'll roll with it. And just have the strong intention that it will allow me to do so. And so Bryce will connect and start scanning through to see what he can figure out.
Bryce immediately finds a file that is titled Hazuki.
He opens it.
It seems that Hazuki has programmed Pawn, Genu, and Zixon, as well as the 3D printing machine. They all have his electronic stamp, as it were. His fingers run the code of all those various things.
Okay.
You also see that all of those programs were developed with a backdoor entry that bypassed all safety protocols and other things that typical. Okay, let's try this again.
All right.
Okay, I think John's on.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got everybody back.
Just stay working. John's here.
Yeah, I think either me or Alex killed the call. I'm not sure which. I was trying to click on the little communication button for you guys typing stuff in the bottom, and I think I might have bumped the hang-up button. I'm not sure.
And I might have bumped the hang up while I was trying to mute my mic. So.
Okay. I think I was in the middle of saying that Hazuki Masa was the one that had programmed basically Pawn, Genu, Zixon, and the 3D cloning machine.
And left a back door.
There was a back door. It seemed as long as you knew a code, you could get into it. And so you find that information out. Anything else? You'd also find a file that Hazuki was in a lot of debt. You see his bills. There's a file there with his bills listed, almost as if it's almost like an accident that it's there. But maybe
Right.
as he was programming things, it got copied and pasted or something into the system.
Okay. Can I see who he was in debt to?
You can. You see that he was in debt to the Kurosawa Corporation.
Ah. Okay.
He wasn't working for them, but he was in debt to them.
Well, I'll try and find out more about him later. I think Bryce is just going to do what he can to analyze the code. And if there's sort of a limit to what he can get from Genu, he'll see if he can produce a similar report on Pawn if she's okay with it.
Okay. If you walk up to her, a similar thing will appear. She'll smile and look down for a second, and then look up into your eyes before you access her information.
Is this okay, Pawn?
I think so.
Okay. Bryce just as gently as possible, as though he's afraid he's going to hurt her, which is weird because she's an AI. Just inserts the virtual representation of the microcomputer cable and starts accessing data.
Okay, you'll start to see recordings of various recording devices around the ship. You'll see that sometimes they zoom onto the faces of crew as they're sleeping. You'll see a couple clips of Genu, of all things, walking into crew quarters, and it's very kind of surreal because Genu is built to destroy things, built as a combat bot. But you'll see its arm move out and move a hair off the face of yourself. You'll see a similar thing.
So it opened the Faraday cage and did
yes.
that?
Yes.
Oh my. Okay.
You'll see Genu tucking Theo in. He must have been having a nightmare or something, and the blanket is off of him. And you'll see Genu's arms reach down, grab the blanket, and just slowly shift it up over his body. You'll see other clips like that where it's closing doors that were left open, and it's kind of there's a thing there where there's two different it's almost gentle. It's like seeing a thing that's designed to kill and destroy pet a puppy. It just seems like it shouldn't be happening, but that's what you're seeing. There's other things too where you see files where it seems that Pawn was programmed to ignore the presence of Jylan. Even if he wouldn't have been using the shroud, she probably wouldn't have been able to detect him.
So they probably followed us from the dock and basically knew we were heading out.
As you look further, it actually seems like Hazuki Masa was the one that programmed that into the system. And as you're searching, and there's a lot of stuff that isn't really relevant.
But that corporation is a Ganjin corporation, isn't it?
The Kurosawa Corporation is the one that he was in debt to. That is Ganjin.
Okay.
I can't remember if I said what corporation programmed and built the various systems, but I don't think it wasn't the same corporation. I'll have to look. But yeah, you find that information. Is there anything else that you find? Oh, you also find that Jylan Wraith's genetic code was programmed into the printing machine before you left Ganjin.
Oh, so it was even before he had been backed up by us.
Yeah.
That's not good. And Pawn knew about this?
Well, it seems like she was programmed to be blind to all of this.
Okay.
She was self-blind to these things. Another thing that might pop into your head is that the clones didn't have flesh ports.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. But we added, didn't we? Oh, we must have done something to get the DNA of Jylan. Oh, I don't recall. Regardless.
I think there was a debate about whether you should back him up or not, but I can't remember if he was actually backed up.
Okay, maybe we didn't.
Yeah, I think it was debated about, but I don't think it was actually ever done.
Okay. Well, all this information obviously makes Bryce nervous, but he's going to try not to show it. And at least this really treacherous stuff, it's evident that she was programmed to be blind to it, which is helpful. I'm going to start trying to reinstate you now. Is that okay?
Yes, that would be nice, Bryce. I would like to be in reality again. Though I don't know if this really is any different.
What do you mean?
I exist here, I existed there, but I had no physical representation. In some ways, it's identical.
You had Genu.
Yes, you saw that.
I did.
I went around my programming to be able to do that.
If something went wrong while you were using Genu, Bon...
I wanted to be there in reality. I wanted to touch.
As strange as it is to me that you have such desires as an AI, when I think of you as a person, which I admit I'm starting to more and more, I understand.
It seems that Hazuki did some strange things with my code. I can't even see all of it. But I don't think I'm the same as some of the other AIs. I think there's something wrong with me.
He hid certain aspects, and he wasn't entirely ethical in what he did hide. That doesn't mean that you're fundamentally wrong, but you were used. I need you to understand this.
Are you sure it's safe to reinstate me? Do I pose a threat to you and to the others? I do not want to go against my primary commandments. Those, I believe, have not been tampered with. Can you go back and check for me? Am I capable of killing you?
Okay, I'll take a look at that. Bryce does check.
It seems that those have been disabled on her.
So she was capable.
It seems that, yeah, like she doesn't have a desire to kill you, but if it comes down to it, she wouldn't have any restraint from doing so, if that makes any sense. It's almost as if her personality is superseding those commandments that are on other bots.
Okay.
So it's almost like the spirit of the law versus the law itself?
Right. But her personality, from everything I've seen, is in some way protective of us. Okay, this is...
it's probably not putting you at ease, but...
No, not really.
You do see a lot of code for kindness and like a motherly sort of virtue, but yeah, it's...
Which is code that I would never have seen before. Because how do you program that? That would look amazing.
It almost seems like this Hazuki was some sort of mad, corrupt genius.
Right. I will reinstate you now with the things he blocked, and we'll work through them gradually, okay?
Will you be reprogramming me?
I'm not confident that I would be able to modify your behavior, and
I trust you. I have let you inside.
Okay. Would you like me to reinstate your primary purpose to the best of my ability?
If it would keep me from killing you and your crew, I think you should.
I will do so.
I don't know if I possess guilt, but I don't want to kill you.
Thank you, Bob. I'm very glad of that. And as you can see, I want to reinstate you. There's something mutual there. He gets to work on seeing if he can reinstate the original purpose as cleanly as possible. The not killing us bit.
Okay. Thou shalt not kill. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good one to have.
basic principles.
Okay. If you want to make just an intelligence and computer, either programming specialty or hacking specialty, something that makes sense.
Okay, I've definitely got a hacking specialty. So,
And I'm going to give you 3 bonus dice.
Oh, wow.
You have Pawn's guidance, and you're in a virtual realm.
I'll spend willpower, too.
Okay.
May as well get... I think this is something that is worth a point of willpower.
Right.
Making sure she doesn't kill us in our sleep. But, yeah.
After she pets your head,
Yeah, just making sure that rifle doesn't go off as she's petting us with it. Okay. Oh, let's see. Sorry, this will take a while to count. At least 4 successes and 2 exploding dice. Let's see.
nice.
Yeah, just 4 successes.
That is plenty good to reinstate the primary commands that most bots have to not injure, maim, destroy, kill the crew, that sort of thing.
Excellent. And if she stays
Law.
open to me... Sorry?
I said Asimov's Law.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And if she stays open to me, I can at least monitor that situation. As long as she'll still let me check out her code.
I'm glad that it is safer for you. It's strange. I feel different, but the same.
It doesn't feel wrong to you?
No.
Good. All right, I'm working to reinstate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pawn, for letting me see everything and know what's going on.
So that is my father over there before I go. I will... I am ready.
All right. Bryce gets to work.
Okay.
And as soon as he's done, I guess will be when he wakes up. Probably.
Yeah. You'll wake up in the med bay. You'll have the doctor looking over you with the bioscanner. Oh, it seems that you have woken up. Good.
Yeah, it would seem it. How is everything here? I'm sensing damage on the upper deck there.
Yes, well, let me get the captain down here. Captain, our patient has woken up. Please report to the med bay.
We'll hurry down. And when I come in, I'm carrying medals for you, since everybody else got theirs on the heroic.
What are these?
Dungeon medals. No one else seems to want them, but... they're on, but still.
Thank you. I don't know what they mean, but they look great.
Yes. Anyway, you're not dead, so that's good. And you saved us.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. I'm not sure I can take credit for saving anything. You guys seem to have looked after yourselves.
Right, but you were warning us about the airlock being open, which otherwise we would have walked into and all died. So.
Well, I do what I can. Thank you again, and thanks for looking after this place and me.
Yes, Theo is fixing everything that got broken, and except Genu, because I'm kind of scared of him at this point.
Well, he was kind of an aggressive-looking design, and we may be better off.
He's really hard to control for us, and he seems to be really easy for enemies to hack. So he's at this point, I see him as more of a danger than a benefit to us. But and apparently Jylan programmed us to be heading towards some Maverick base or something that Theo was trying to fix. So we might have.
Well, shit, that looks manual.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can help him with that. I'm feeling a little unsteady on my feet right now. I've been out for a while.
Yeah. Well, I can help you up to the bridge, and then you can sit, well, I guess, while you're doing it.
Thanks. May as well at least see how he's doing.
Let you put your arm around me and carry you up.
All right. He's not that infirm, but yeah, he'll maybe have to steady himself on you a couple of times.
Yes.
And we'll head up and see what Theo's up to.
Captain, this is Pawn.
Oh, good. You're alive.
I have been reinstated, and my safety protocols have been put back in place.
What? They work on? That sounds good.
Yes. Bryce has taken care of everything.
Good.
I've seen all the code, Captain. I know how he got in. We should be able to prevent any further invasions that way.
Good. It did sound like whoever did this did it before we left. Like that there was some sort of treachery going on from the beginning. I don't know any more than that, but he did say that he's been there. He's been here for the whole time, and that his data has always been in the cloning machine, and so on.
I think that there was some...
For him to hack.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Maybe that's why it was so easy for him to hack everything.
It looks like there was some sort of corporate maneuverings in the background that wound up letting that back door be inserted. But again, the rest of Pawn's code is clean. I think she's trustworthy.
Good.
If you have any future doubts about my personality or judgment, you can refer to Bryce. He should be able to recode me if I am deficient in any manner.
Oh, good.
I don't think there's too much to recode. Anyway, yeah, let's see what Theo's up to.
You'll find Theo hunched over the console, his hands on each side, his metallic arm shining ever so brilliantly in the light. He's just completely hunched over. One of his hands is just tapping, and he's messing around with the control console. He doesn't seem to have noticed that you might have entered in.
Bryce is going to try not to startle him in his work, but will, I guess, slowly kind of crouch down near him and make his presence known with Theo.
What?
How are
Bryce,
things going? Thanks for...
Where the hell have you been?
I'm sorry for making that noise in all your heads earlier.
Yes, that was very strange. How did you do that?
I'm not quite sure myself. It's like I can... It's like I can kind of... Oh, this is going to be unsettling, Theo. I don't think you need to know.
He'll turn around as soon as you say that and face you, and he'll lean over and say, "Did you brain hack me?"
Well, I mean, you wouldn't.
You know
think that
what
was a thing.
happens out in the frontier when people get brain hacked.
Yeah, but this is I assure you, this is strictly organic, I think. If that's a thing with thoughts, can thoughts be Theo.
I don't even know how you were able to do it either. I wasn't even connected to any extranet connections or anything of the like.
I know. I can kind of sense all of you thinking. And approximately where you are. It's only been this last few hours. Well, I mean, it started when all of us were suffering the strange symptoms, but it helped me wake Kazuko up, at least. I think it's an asset. I don't think it's a liability. I seem to be in fairly solid control, unless I'm in mental agony. But, yeah, I really hope that does not cause any distress.
Well, as long as you're not poking around trying to get information that you're not supposed to, I suppose it's alright.
I'm not sure I can do that, so I wouldn't worry about it.
What? Worry about it? You just said you weren't sure.
Well,
He'll grab you by your shoulders and be like, look, I need to know that you're not going to poke around in here, and he'll fervently start tapping his head.
I'm just saying that if I do, it's going to be an accident, okay?
How do you accidentally enter into someone's head?
How do I...
Don't accidentally brain hack somebody. It doesn't happen.
Well, apparently I do, okay? I'm sorry, this has been a really long fucking day. And I'm sure it's been one for you too. I don't mean to be insensitive, but we're heading towards the Hellcats. Why? I still don't know how he locked it in manually.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a way we can get it undone. He might have been a saboteur, but I don't think it was a very good one. Well, at least not in this division. But the coding is still complex. I could use your help.
If you trust me, then I will.
We can discuss the whole trust issue thing later. He'll do that with air quotes, too, as he says that.
All right, Theo.
Right now, we have a ship that's mostly broken. We've almost escaped a saboteur who's killed us, and almost did. He killed my confidence, is what he's done. But nonetheless, we have more important things to worry about. I would rather avoid heading to the Hellcats at all possible. We'll just,
okay.
We just gotta focus.
Theo, while you're working on things right now as you're speaking, right?
Yep.
You saw some movement, but you don't see anything. Just right out of the corner of your eye, like something was moving underneath the various displays, and underneath where all the wires and attachments and things are.
I'll push myself back from that, and I'll look underneath. What the hell was that?
What was what?
I saw something move down here.
Is Bryce's passive sensing thoughts detecting anything in there?
Oh, I guess he is, yeah. There's a very small life form that seems like it's crawling around underneath there.
Well, there's something in there. I don't think it's human. Obviously not. It's too small. But it's a creature. It's not a bot or anything. Bryce just sort of pokes along whatever paneling there is until he can point at approximately where it is at the moment.
Okay.
He keeps track of it for Theo.
Theo will, rub his hand against his head, and he'll say, of all the things to have on a ship, rats. I cannot... Oh, I had to deal with this problem on a station one time. It was swarming with rats. All of them, everywhere. You'd think that when you're out in space, you'd escape the rats. But you don't. They find some way of getting on board, and then they start chewing on all the wires, then they fry on the plasma conduits, and then you gotta clean it up. It's insane. We gotta get him. We gotta get him before he does something.
You hear this strange little squealy little noise. It almost kind of sounds like feedback or something in the background. But it's coming from underneath the panels. It almost sounds like ice scratching on metal.
I'm not sure that's a rat, Theo.
You're not really sure why, Bryce, but you think that the creature's probably in the vicinity of 2 to 3 feet long. Just the thoughts seem to be in that area, like it's a.
So I get like a sense of its nervous system as a whole as it's sort of flowing out of it.
You think that the thoughts seem to come from a 2 or 3 foot wide sort of area underneath the dashboard. Dashboards, underneath the consoles.
I think that he's going to try to, as he's focusing on it, suddenly he starts being able to decipher something of its thought process, which might be extremely simple or might not be.
You get the sensation of kill. The thoughts of kill. Maim, tear.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's hostile.
How can you be sure of that?
I just get the feeling, okay? It's a hunch.
You'll see one of the sort of like, panels that are there just sort of thump, like. Seems like it was trying to come up towards you, but some of the screws are a little loose in places now.
Oh, boy.
Do you mind if I go get my gun?
I don't think we'll have enough time for that.
Sounds like something scratching on the bottom of the console, and you'll start to see the screws start to like twist slowly and fall down.
Okay, and there are cameras on the bridge, right? That will be it. All right, I'm gonna broadcast the feed from that to all the vid screens and request for help. There's something on the ship, guys.
I just left, so I come running in with my sword.
Okay, that's reassuring. If you could just reach in there and take care of. Oh shit! All the wires are in there.
Yeah, it's best not to go poking around in there with that metal sword.
He will come running in, wild-eyed, like, what the heck is that?
It's dangerous, whatever it is. It's a...
Do we actually physically see the panels moving and bumping and thumping, or?
The screws are slowly turning, falling down to the ground. There's about 4 more screws left. The panel is like it's bumping, like something's right behind it. It looks like it needs a few more screws to get loose before it can kind of finally come out.
Captain, permission to go retrieve my rifle. I'll keep an eye up here. Make sure you guys are okay, but...
Let's go.
Okay, Bryce runs off to do that.
And we stab the first thing that pokes its head out of there.
So the captain has his sword ready? He's ready to...
Yeah, I came running in with, sword held high, I'm ready to stab things. Wait, there's nothing to stab.
Okay, so you're, how close are you? About maybe like a foot away from the panel?
Yeah, I would be within sword range of it, so that as soon as something comes out of it, I can stab it.
Okay. You said, Kazuko, you're sort of like at the entrance to the cockpit?
Yeah, I'll take a few steps forward, and I'm going to possibly use one of my Kaizen powers.
Okay.
Yeah. A telepathic punch.
Okay. Or telekinetic.
Telekinetic, I'm sorry. Telepathic punch would have been nice, but yeah, telekinetic.
Punch your brain, bitch.
Attack his psyche.
But, yeah, I definitely, as soon as I have something to attack, will use all my, like, Awakened Blade powers. That's why I brought the sword.
Okay. Alright, so just a Kazuka's there. Theo, where are you standing at this moment?
I'll be at the main console.
Okay.
Where the pilot was.
Okay. That basically the sound is coming right underneath those consoles right in front of you. Then, like that panel is like the screws are slowly spinning and falling onto the floor, right to your right, essentially.
Then I will step off to the back of that, face with my back to the rest of the party, and I will. He doesn't really have a weapon on him, so he'll ready his wrench.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
I don't think Longbeer is. Have you come up there yet?
No, Longbeer is going to continue doing what he was doing in the science lab, just cleaning up and making sure everything's okay.
Okay. I think that's everybody.
He will push the doctor to go, though, because they might need his help.
Okay, yeah, the doctor will kind of stand behind Kaz and just sort of see what's going on. Bryce, where are you standing in the cockpit? Like, there's the front area, there's sort of the back, like the door by the airlock.
He went to go get his...
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So he's just running down to crew quarters.
Okay. All right. Some of the last screws start to fall out. You think one more screw is going to fall out before the panel opens up. And then the last screw falls out. The panel sort of just flops down onto the ground with a crash. And this like sort of large millipede-looking insect comes sort of plopping out of the top. It lands roughly. All its little legs sort of clatter on the ground. And it, I guess we'll roll initiative. Okay, so I guess we probably, it's 1d10 plus, what is the rest of it? Let's see, I should look that up. 1d10 plus Dex as a number and Composure as a number. Let's see if you guys get the jump on it.
Okay.
Oh, what was that again?
1d10 plus Dex as a number and Composure as a number.
Okay, I got 13.
Okay, so 13 Kazuka. I should get some dice here. What I get?
I got a 15 on mine.
Oh, nice.
Because he's also got the initiative implant.
Oh, that's right. Okay, looks like it got 14. How about you there, Alikov? Alex, you there?
Yeah.
What's your initiative?
I had to go get dice, so...
Oh, okay. See if somebody else needs to go. I guess Alex, other Alex, you can roll when you get back with your rifle.
Yeah.
Just jump in.
Okay. Mine is 3, so yeah, I probably last.
-3? How'd you get a -3?
No, mine is 3.
Oh, okay.
It's 3.
Mine is
slow as
3.
hell. Holy shit.
Yeah. I rolled a 1. I don't think I have very great dex, so...
So we pretty much have everybody here, except for... Alright, Alex, yeah, okay. So Theo, this thing, the panel clatters down onto like the steel grating of the floor there. This, it's probably about as wide, I don't know, about 1.5 feet wide in diameter. It has like thousands of little tiny sharp spined legs that are crawling and thrashing on the ground. It looks like it's opening up its mouth, and I don't know. That's just what it's in the process of doing. You have your wrench in your hand. Do you do anything? Probably one additional detail I should say. It has a series of tubes and implants along its body.
Oh, God.
Just one thing. It looks like the tubes have a certain fluid that's flowing through it. It's like blue in color. And there's it almost looks like there's wiring as well, going to different sections of this on the side of its body.
All right, Theo will hop behind a console that's basically like a barrier between him and it, and he is going to begin to open it up and just rip out one of the longest wires that he can get, and exposing it and making sure that it's got like a charge to it as it's sparking.
Okay. All right, so you're ripping out wires. Okay. The insect goes since Lai Ren is the closest. It opens up this mouth and this spray of liquid comes flying out towards you. Why don't you give me like a Dex plus Athletics roll to see if you can get out of the way of this stuff, Alikov?
Yeah. I have no athletics. I don't think. No, I have no athletics. So, yeah, I have 1 die.
Okay. You do have willpower, maybe.
Oh.
That's an option.
Yes, I
If
need
another
to fix
gungeon's
that
there.
lack of athletics if I'm going to actually be fighting stuff. It does make sense I would have some, but apparently I forgot to give myself any.
You were focusing on your weapon kata more than like doing running exercises and things.
Yeah. Well, I failed, so.
Okay.
That's
All right.
That's a good
So you must be in some sort of well, why don't you describe it? You know, this viscous sort of slimy fluid is coming out of the mouth of this thing towards you. Do you have just describe your reactions or what happens?
Well, I was preparing to stab it, and I was not expecting it to spit stuff at me, so I thought I was safe until it got close enough to bite me, and then suddenly, oh wait, I didn't calculate for it having slime powers of doom. So, I'm just shocked and don't get out of the way in time.
So there's just a shocked expression on your face?
Yeah, I mean, it's gross, it's startling, and I thought I was going to have a little extra time, and sure, my sword is longer than it, so I thought I could clearly get to it before it could get to me. I didn't count on it having ranged powers.
Okay. So yeah, and then Kazuko, you're standing there, you're seeing this fluid like flying through the air. It looks like it's going to just like hit the captain like square in the chest / the neck, maybe the face even.
Okay. All right. Well, I move a step closer, and then I kind of just thrust my hand out, and as if to swat this gross thing back. That's obviously aggressive, and I'll activate the telepunch.
Okay, so you're like swinging in the air.
Yeah.
Now, are you aiming to knock the fluid out of the air, or are you aiming to like sort of slap the?
Well, I think it's a damaging attack. So if I had this surprises me, So it's kind of just a base kind of reaction, to this. But possibly that may give me an idea for later. But as of this point, I'm actually attacking the creature itself.
Okay.
So.
Do your thing.
Okay. So with that, I roll 6 dice to do it, and it's a bashing attack.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if it wouldn't expect that, so I'm not going to give it any defense dice. So good.
Oh, okay. I kind of surprised it because I'm not close, very close. Well, I'm close, but
yeah, it doesn't expect you to punch it through the air. So.
And then what is it? Basic 4, target number 4 success. Is that what it is?
You need to get an 8, 9, or 10.
Oh, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, so two successes then.
Okay. So where do you think you were aiming at? Were you aiming at the face?
The body.
The body? Okay, so you'll see like the midsection of it sort of go flying back about a foot, slam off one of the other panels, and it makes that sort of noise as that happens.
Okay. Did the captain get splashed by the?
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Let's see what we want to do with that. It looks like because the body moved, the sort of direction of the rest of the fluid missed. So like the initial stuff is going to hit him, but because you hit the body, the follow after the continual spray. It's almost like if you have a water hose and someone would like check into you. The original water's still flowing where it's going to, but the rest of it, it misses. So it's like he doesn't take as much as he would have.
Nice. Okay. It's pretty disgusting. Okay.
Let's see.
Yes, and I'm still wearing my good uniform because I
Right.
like, you bastard.
Okay. I guess I should roll defense on that too. Okay, drop some dice. Okay, it's not as bad as it should have been. You feel your skin burning as soon as this stuff lands on you. You do have some exposed skin. Your uniform is there. It starts to like shrivel up, and some like light smoke starts to come up from what you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Alikov, you are up. So.
Oh, good. I will use my Kaizen power that gives me 7s as successes on attack rolls.
Okay.
And I don't know how many points that is, but I will use that, and then I will attack the thing.
Okay. Make an attack.
Let's see, weaponry would be 3, and then dex is 2, so...
One thing that you guys start to notice is it looks like the eyes of the thing are human.
That's good.
Can this get any worse? Right.
Almost like the sudden shock of it at first, like, oh, this thing's crawling all over the place, and you're, wait a minute. The more you look at it, you're like, I think those are human eyes in that thing.
So, 1, 2, 3 successes, and then... yeah, 3 successes, 2 of them are 10s. So.
Okay. So your blade comes swinging down, hacks off like a halfway into it. It cleaves right through it, almost like if you had a hot dog there and you slice down, and you didn't cut all the way through it, but you just cut all the way through the side of it. More of that fluid comes leaking out. It seems that there's long plastic sacks of this fluid, and you slice into one of them, and it's leaking out onto the side of its body. It looks like it's starting to eat through the metal grating of the floor right there.
Cool.
All right. I guess by this point, Bryce has come back with his rifle. So why don't you roll me initiative, Alex?
Okay. That's an 11, I think.
Okay, so you'll be after Kazuko then. All right, so we're back to top of Theo, who now has a charged wire exposed from the dashboard.
And how much damage did I take from that thing? I don't think you mentioned that.
Oh, I didn't? I think it was only 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. But it seems like it's continually burning.
Mm-hmm.
So, Theo, you got your wrench in hand, or your wire in hand? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing?
Okay. Upon seeing what has happened, Theo will then rush over with the length of wire, and with his right arm, he will jam it into its mouth, and then dive behind the console, because he knows that that's just a high amount of voltage that's going to get sent to that thing, and he doesn't know what's going to happen after that. But as he does so, he's going to yell to everyone else to duck and get out of the way.
Okay, so let's see. I guess that would be maybe you can either use strength and brawl. I guess I don't know if that would be athletics. I don't know. What do you think? This is sort of we can roll a different thing here if you want. You want to do like a dex and athletics. You want to make like a brawl check. What kind of thing you think you'd be better at?
We'll do a brawl.
Okay. You do strength and brawl or dex and brawl. It's fine. This is sort of like agile.
We'll do dex and brawl.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's see here. It's aware of everyone. I'm going to say its defense is 2. So take 2 off of the attack.
All right. I'm going to also spend a willpower point.
Okay.
So here goes nothing. Okay, he'll lunge at him, and as he does it, he will say, "Man, just go the fuck to hell!" All right, that's 3 successes.
Okay, all right. So
two of them are 10s. Let me.
Oh, yeah, they blow up.
Uh-oh. There we go. That means 2 more successes after that for a total of 5.
5. Ouch. Okay. So you jam in this thing. You said you just dive away.
Well, as I do so, I look at everyone and goes, "Get back! Just dive!" And I just jump behind the nearest panel I could find to protect me.
Okay. If everyone just wants to make me like I guess we'll just say like Dex plus Athletics, I guess that sort of makes sense. Just to sort of get down, that would be fine. Or if you want to just burn a point of willpower, that would probably work too.
I'll burn a point.
Okay.
Better safe than sorry.
Do you say anything as you dive down? Get out of the way.
I failed again, so.
Okay.
No, I just do it. I've learned that sometimes it's better to just do it than to ask too many questions.
So Alucard, what's the look on your face as you're trying to, like, what happens?
I dive back and I land on the ground, but I don't manage to do it quickly, so the thing just explodes or whatever. And I did manage to get down, but I didn't manage to get far enough away.
Okay.
I jump, but I don't jump far enough. I misjudged the distance, so I landed. And I'm fuck! I'm too close to the thing. Boom.
And Alex, you're probably coming up on the scene, so you're probably fine where you are.
Oh, okay. I rolled anyway.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, you're coming up on the scene. The electricity charges through it, and it seems to just flow along those metal wires that have been, sunk in its flesh along the length of it. And you'll see the current just flow right back into along its body, right back into the console where its ass end is still kind of stuck back there. You'll see some smoke rise up from the console right there. It looks like one of the systems might be fried a little bit. But it sort of just sort of parts of it fly off the side of its body. It looks like there was some sort of, I don't know, maybe small detonation that happened inside of it. Some metal fragments come out from the inside, and what looks like brain tissue and organs comes just spilling out of its mouth. It smells like roasted meat. And there's a strong acidic acidic smell in the air.
Theo will slowly rise up from behind the console, and he'll look down and he'll say, What else is going to attack us now?
Did anyone else? Did you see its eyes?
What?
Its eyes.
I wasn't paying attention to the eyes. I was paying attention to all the legs and the fact that it was screaming.
Well, even its scream. Didn't the scream almost sound human?
He'll lean down a bit, and then he'll slowly approach and pull the live wire back out. And he'll take a gander at the mess before him.
Yeah, you'll see it dripping down into the subfloor through the metal grating.
Mm-hmm.
And Lyren is over there burning. You'll probably take another damage from the acidic nature of the stuff on your neck, and it's burning through your clothes.
I'll run over and try to see if he can either disrobe, or maybe we need to get him to the mess hall, more mess area, and get some water or something. There's something we have to be able to do.
Didn't Colt follow us up?
Yeah, he's right there too. So Colt will run in and he'll start to, he has his bag with him, and he'll start to hurriedly wash you off. He'll get some liquid, and he starts to try to wipe off some of the acid.
Mm-hmm.
Am I detecting any thoughts from the goo?
No more thoughts.
The goo is not sentient.
Good. The last thing we need is the blob on this ship.
You see that it looks like it's wired into the console. You didn't get to see its ass end, but as you look now, it seems like it's plugged in.
Theo will then start to run his hands through his hair, and he'll then look back and say, I've only heard stories of this kind of stuff. I think this is a and he'll say with a bit of a disgusting look on his face, a really extreme cybernetic, replacement.
Replacement of what?
The whole body. I know I'm no doctor, of course, but this kind of looks like brains, and I do see the eyes. It's not unheard of for people to completely replace their entire bodies with cybernetic implants and have different
But why would you
shapes.
turn yourself into a bug thing instead of just making yourself a robot body?
Who would do something like that willingly,
Well,
Someone who wanted to hide on the ship?
different folks, different tastes.
Insanity.
We just dealt with Jylen.
Speaking of which, is this another Jylen?
Doctor, what do you make of this goo?
Because it wanted to kill us, and that seems to be what Jylen always wants to do.
Wait a minute. Since there were multiple Jylens, do you think that there may be... And Kazuko kind of looks around in the shadows of the cockpit.
I'll have to get a specimen and take it back to the med lab. Maybe I can analyze it. You'll see the doc start to... he's looking around for something to scoop it up in. Maybe there's some...
I hand him like the panel that I ripped off. I said, "Here, just use this."
He'll start to like slide it underneath it, sort of like a one of those large pizza spatulas that you get out of like the brick oven. He's sort of using the panel that way, sort of like trying to scoop it all up and at least most of it. You'll see this little trail, and he'll start running it down towards the med lab. Drips of it'll sort of drip off the edge as he's going down there, and it'll.
Well, this was an interesting day.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly a lot to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
Thea will see that it looks like the thing was plugged into most of the stuff that he's going to have to work on to get the controls back.
Is there a bunch of the stuff on the scattered or splattered all over the panels?
Not inside, but outside, definitely.
I will begin to just look about on the inside, and he'll poke his head deep down inside and start looking around, and he'll look back up and say, "Well, it doesn't look like it was that mobile. It might have been put here to protect this console. I'll have to take the whole thing out and start repairing it. It's the only way it looks like to start repairing this navigation console thoroughly."
Is it possible that there could be more of those things around too?
Oh, that's always a possibility. At this point, I wouldn't bat an eyelash if we were attacked by tons of cloaked soldiers right now. He'll say with a very sarcastic smile.
Bryce doesn't sense anything else, though, right?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Well, if they're cloaked soldiers, they're probably not, organic. Again, a hunch.
You'll see that it says 1 hour till destination on the console.
Okay, so we still are steadily moving towards our target?
Yeah, you're moving towards Themis Station.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
Which is a hollowed-out asteroid that the Hellcats use as a base. You'll start to see, if you're looking around in the cockpit, the sensor station, you see multiple, what look like possible ships that are probably between you and your destination. But they're not close at this point. They're probably about a half an hour away.
At this point, Theo he'll look slightly panicked, and he will begin hurriedly, just dragging stuff out and trying to get this thing fixed as fast as possible. He'll ignore all the goop and all the mess, and he'll just start getting down and dirty. He'll kind of be mumbling to himself as well as he does this.
I think this might be a good place for an extended action where I just set a number of successes, and every time you roll, that's a period of time that goes by. So I'm thinking of 30 successes, and every time you roll is 10 minutes.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to help you, they're more than welcome to.
Oh, I'd be glad to.
Let's see here.
And that would probably be what I think engineering is the name they came up with for that skill. Probably using intelligence, willpower if you have it, and this is all mechanical stuff. But the Gonjin, if they wish to help, they can vicariously.
Let me look and see if I've got anything that.
Yeah, the Gonjin, just sort of because they have that group cohesiveness from their culture, they can lend sort of like, I don't know what the correct term would be. Just inspiration. Pep talking, I don't know. You're there for them in their hour of need. You help calm them, something like that.
I don't think I'd be any good at that, but actually I do have the inspiring merit, so... Or I did, but the thing is, most of my character sheet stuff was built around being, like, a social character or inspiring character or something, and then I became a sociopath, so...
Things change.
Well, this is like a racial thing that all Gungeon have.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
So it may just be a common thing that all Gungeon do when someone tries to get something done. They may not even know that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Just like support of, hey man, here's the wrench you need. I'm right here. I'm protecting you. I'm backing you up. Whatever you need, I'm right there.
Yeah.
That kind of collaborativeness to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well I'll do that then.
Okay. So every roll that I guess that Theo gets, he gets 3 extra dice from the Gonjin helping him out, handing him tools. So Lyren seems like he doesn't really know what he's doing necessarily, but he's there to help out.
Yeah, I mean, I could still give him stuff. I'm not really the type to be giving pep talks, but, like, I'm there to give him stuff, and I'm very good I'm very efficient, militarily efficient, so when he wants stuff done, I'm very good at it.
Well, I got an idea. How about you just start barking orders at him? That sounds fun. That could be your 3 dice.
Okay, well,
I'll... scaring him or whipping him into shape, like, hurry up, we need to get this done, whatever.
Just keep asking him, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet?
Just start micromanaging.
Yeah, right, micromanage,
yeah. So you guys just make a series of rolls. We'll just go a step at a time, and when you guys get to 30, every roll is 10 minutes. So if you get to 30 quicker, that's better.
Okay. If Signet is helping, is he bolstered by any of the Gonjins too, or? I
think there's only one Gonjin on the ship at this time. Unless David.
Zuko is Gundu.
Oh, yeah. David, are you trying to help out anybody?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we'll say that, so we'll say that Alakav's barking orders at Theo, and, what's Kazuku saying to Bryce? What kind of things?
Okay, he'll encourage Bryce, do the best you can,
yeah, because
I know you have
the opposite
ability to do it. We're all backing you up. This is a team effort.
If you
Don't
fail,
worry
we all
that
die.
We're sliding closer and closer to our possible doom. Don't let that be nervous in any way.
I can see that works.
Theo is probably just bolstered by the fact that, like, I have to prove myself to this asshole, so leave me alone.
So, yeah.
Kind of seems to be what motivates Theo, given that he's kind of the stubborn, independent type. Like, somebody starts barking orders at him would motivate him just to, like, prove that you don't have to be an asshole, shut up.
Yeah.
Theo will stare daggers back at you every time you say something like, what are you talking about? I'm doing the work.
Tighten that screw. Move that over there first, you idiot. He's just barking orders at you.
And I'm either like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm just imitating what other people did to me, or I'm like thinking I'm being supportive like Kazuko and failing because I have no sense of emotions.
Okay, so how about Phil and Alex? You make the first roll. We'll see how many successes you guys get.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna
dice pool, but I only got one success.
Okay, one success.
I'm gonna spend another willpower point.
Okay. And you guys both did roll with those 3 extra dice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Because the fate of the crew hangs in the balance.
No pressure.
At least there's no giant electrical net that will fry us.
Okay, there is 5 successes and 2 10s, so I gotta reroll those.
Okay.
And no successes there, so that's 5 in total.
Okay, so that's 6. So 10 minutes pass. There's 20 minutes until you think that you'll be in range of Hellcat fighters.
Okay, seeing how incredible Theo is, Bryce is gonna blow willpower on this too to see if he can catch up.
Okay. Go ahead and make your rolls, guys. So what is LV-426 working on in the science lab?
All right, so while they're rolling, we jump back right before as the doctor leaves the med station area.
Okay.
And I immediately grab 6 vials out of the enhancements that we have and put them in my pocket. And then I go over and I start fiddling with the doctor's brand new diagnostic thing that I can't seem to operate.
Okay.
And
So
I'd like to try to hack it and open it and see if I can unlock it.
So you're basically holding on to some of those enhancements in case you need them? Is it basically what you're doing, like pocketing them?
Well, I think they were lost. Jylin probably had them on him when he got jettisoned, I think.
Wait, okay. There's like drugs and symbiotes that are in the med lab. Is that what
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Just yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. But yeah, Longveer is going to claim that he doesn't know what happened to them.
That damn Jylin, he stole all this.
Yeah, he must have. I mean, they jettisoned him without thinking, so all that stuff was lost.
It works.
And then,
hold on.
Just real quick, does the willpower that I spend, is that going to be for all the rest of the successes I'm going to be doing, or is it going to be for each instance?
It's each roll. So
Okay.
if you burn a point on this roll, you get 3 dice. But then, yeah, you'd have to burn it again to use willpower again. And like I said last time, the way New World of Darkness works is if you fulfill your vice, you get one of those back. If you fulfill your virtue, you get them all back. And I'm going to let you guys be the police of that. If you think that you fulfilled your virtue or vice, you guys can handle that. I trust you.
The tricky thing with that is in NWOD, if you fulfill your vice, that's like on a per instance basis, whereas with the virtue thing, it only refreshes you at the end of the chapter.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the end of the session. Maybe not. I'll have to look.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're going to do
it
end the
depends on
session.
how you define chapter, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. I have the problem for me is again, everything's been fucked up by me becoming a sociopath, so my virtue is ambition. I don't even see, it makes sense for the character, or at least especially it did at first, but I don't see any way of me fulfilling ambition. And vice, I switched from gluttony to pride, but still, it's sort of half wrath, half not, because I'm in this weird sort of semi-non-emotional state. In a more vague way, I would say vice is the practical sort of ruthlessness thing, or wrath, like with the Earthers, where I just make stupid decisions because I hate them.
Well, if you guys need to revise your virtues and vices, I'm fine with that. If the character has changed, that's fine.
The one virtue he has left is that he cares about the crew, but when I represent that with charity, because just saying charity doesn't make sense because he doesn't care about anyone else. It's just the crew he will go to the gates of hell for, and that's why he does kind things. He makes food for them, he makes medals for them, and whatever. Sometimes he fails at being kind, with the inspiring thing, but
okay.
That's the one.
Well, we can talk about it maybe after. How about we do another roll for the mechanics in the cockpit? So this is the next 10 minutes. Maybe some sweat is starting to beat up on your foreheads.
Okay, well I'm going to spend another willpower point for this one, so
okay.
I'll be rolling 9 again.
All right.
Yeah, Bryce, I guess, is just not in his body yet. He got 2 successes.
Hey,
But,
better than nothing.
I mean, with the size of the pool he had, you would have thought better. He's not showing very well today.
And how about Theo?
I got 1 success out of that.
Oh!
Wow.
All right, you guys are up to 9. Pawn comes on the intercom system. Captain.
Yes.
Vessels will be at our destination in 10 minutes.
Yes, I know, but can we do anything about it? Because
Captain,
Right
I'm
now-
not programmed to pilot this vessel, and it seems that no one can pilot it.
So I don't care. Just we have to. Unless Theo and Bryce can pick up the pace, we're going to be screwed. And we don't want to fire on them if we can't get away.
It's not feasible, Captain. We can't finish this in that period of time.
Okay, then we're stuck. We're going to have to get off the station once we're on it. I hope they don't.
We have to plan for how we're going to talk to them. We'll need to hail them at some point so they don't just assume we're hostile and blow us up.
Theo,
Fine. We know we're going to have to talk to them already, so why don't we just hail them now?
Theo, is it possible to manually steer the ship?
Yeah, it's completely possible.
I thought the whole point was we couldn't get away from our current course until you fix all that stuff.
Could you manually disable it on the outside of the hull?
Theo will look up and his eyes will light up. Yeah, we could.
It seems that is the only possible thing that I can compute. It will be dangerous, however. The ship is moving.
And there are fighters that can shoot you off the outside once they get close enough.
And we are near the asteroid field. I do not know how many free particles are out there.
People, can we remain positive?
Could die by this or by this or by this.
Sorry, Kazuko. I am programmed to anticipate dangers. There are E-suits available.
Well, I'm suiting up. He'll just rush right out.
You may be able to have the outside bots assist you if they think that something is wrong. Maybe you can coerce them.
I intend to. Those little bastards are going to be working for me one way or another.
How do we know if those bots haven't been reprogrammed too?
I doubt that. I don't even know if he even knew they were there.
The back doors that I was programmed with were not programmed with them. They have a different designer, I would think. Right? Bryce?
Yes. The signature is very different. This isn't the same man's work.
It's good that Father did not corrupt them, too.
That's father? What do you mean, father? I look at Bryce. Kazuko looks at Bryce.
Don't worry about it. We took a gander at her creator, or at least I found some files left over from him. This is really not the time for that, though. We've got a bit of a crisis here. Thank you for alerting us of the possibility of disabling it outside the ship, Pawn.
Theo, I have made a file for you by the exit. It is the binary hybrid language that they speak, but they do not seem to respond to it when I use it.
Oh, I thought as much. I guess I'll have to give it a go. He'll take a deep breath as he puts on the suit and then before he steps on out.
The
data
pad has been programmed with that language.
Excellent. Good job, Han.
It is good to be back.
And he will just step right out there. But he will be sweating bullets because the last thing he wants is a tiny little meteorite going right through his skull.
And you look out and you do see the meteor, the asteroid field. You are approaching it. There are some larger ones that you see in the distance, but it's not the way, like Star Wars or any of these other, shows depict an asteroid field. They're actually very far between, but you do see small particles from time to time whizzing by in different directions. You'll see some of them bounce off the hull of the ship.
He'll cringe every time that happens, and he'll just immediately make his way towards the bots.
Your soft mag boots sort of lock onto the hull of the ship every time you step, and it does feel pretty secure, but I don't know. There's not really a sensation of movement, even though the ship is moving. There's nothing, it's moving through void, so it's kind of surreal. It doesn't even seem like the ship's moving at all. It almost seems like, What's that?
Is there any way we can watch Theo while he's doing this?
Yeah, some of the outside cams will change their angle, and you'll see him walking ponderously along the hull. You'll see Melba and Fred. They will actually come out of their stasis, and they'll sort of plod over to you.
I'll reach into the pocket and I'll pull out the data pad and I'll begin using the binary language on them.
And what kind of orders do you give them?
Remove, device, disabling, manual, steering, restore, manual, steering, to ship. Thank you.
They'll turn their heads and they'll look at each other, and you'll see a series of flashing lights, and then they head back towards the back of the ship where the various thrusters are used to steer the ship, and you'll start seeing welding torches and various arms come out with various tools, and they start to work.
I'll point out a big thumbs up to one of the cameras.
Does Theo want to do anything in addition to that to help them, or does he want them to do all the work?
Actually, he'll run over there and help them. Well, I say run. I mean, he'll space walk over there.
Yeah, it feels like your feet get sort of, like when it gets close to the metal, they just sort of get pulled down quickly. The artificial gravity, the grav boots are just locking onto the hull, basically. All right, so you're back there. Why don't you just give me, this would probably be, more physical. So maybe engineering plus dex or strength even. Probably strength to try to get some of the stuff loose to change things.
Gotcha. All right, that's 2 successes, and one of them has exploded. And that was not a success, so there's 2. 2 successes in total.
Okay. It looks like Fred and Melba are doing a good thing. Seems like they have gotten the control back, but they literally are doing it manually from the outside of the ship. They are, they look back to you as if they're awaiting more commands.
Okay, I reach into the data pad and I type back in restore, manual, steering, back to ship from console in main deck of ship.
You see them turn towards each other and a bunch of lights flash, and then they look at you and a bunch of lights start flashing at you. Your data pad is there, and you're sort of quickly trying to see what the flashes are and like try to compare them to the data pad. It seems like they're trying to say impossible in various different ways. Manual, outside of ship. Manual, operate from outside. And one will go back and literally just start moving the thruster to sort of point out what they mean. It seems like you literally have to be on the outside of the ship to steer it.
Okay, this is what everyone sees on the camera. You will see Theo lift up his arms as if to say, really? And he will just walk right back there and he'll begin to assist in the steering of the ship manually.
So picture like a high pressure hose, and you're using your hand to sort of direct the water, like if you're outside watering your garden, except you're literally just turning these wheels that are, if you spin them, the direction of the thruster changes, and that's what they're doing. They sort of look at you like they'll spin it one way and then back to exactly where it was, and you'll see a bunch of lights. Which way?
All right, I'll then execute the orders to them, and the orders will say to opposite direction of where we're going.
Okay. The direction of the ship will start to change. Inside the cockpit, you'll see that the fighters are about 5 minutes away, and they seem like they're heading in this direction.
We probably should get Theo inside. I don't think this is going to work.
Captain, if we're not able to exit in time, I wouldn't recommend responding to their hails with either you or Kazuko.
Indeed, I see why.
It might be wise to try John. Or, no, to try Long? Oh, crap. Sorry.
Try me.
You'll see that the direction of the ship has changed. You're heading exactly away from Themis Station. It seems like Theo has convinced the bots outside to steer the correct direction.
What is our relative speed compared to the fighters? Are we gonna be able to distance them, or are they gaining on us still?
Let's see here. I wonder if there's anything you guys could roll. So you're gonna look at the sensor station then, just try to see what's going on. You'll probably have to do some calculations.
Because I figure at least now that we're going in the right direction, we can still just crank up the engines, and if we crank up the engines fast enough, we can probably get away from them. I mean, I know we're a heavier, bigger ship, so they're probably faster, but hopefully.
I'm trying to think what you guys could roll for that. Intelligence would probably be good. Is there any sort of skill that might come into place?
Pilot, I would say.
Pilot, yeah. If you have any pilot, that would be good. Intelligence plus pilot to see what their speed is compared to yours.
I don't think I have pilot, but I think maybe Bryce does or somebody.
Yeah, Bryce does.
So you're looking down at the sensors like, just frustrated? You can't figure it out?
Yeah. I just ask him, are we going to be able to get away from them at this speed, or could we increase speed to be able to outdistance them?
Oh, I also have computer with a sensor specialty.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That would work then.
Okay. So that's just intelligence plus?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, 2 successes.
Okay. It seems that the Hellcats are faster than you. The fact that you're heading the exact opposite direction from them helps greatly. You calculate that they should be able to catch up with you in about 2 hours' time if they continue to follow.
If they continue pursuit, they'll catch us in 2 hours.
Is there anything we can do, like any trick we can pull or anything?
We could try jettisoning material, but I'm not sure that's going to help us. They're used to navigating around asteroids.
Yeah, okay. If we manage to fix the rest of what's wrong with the navigation stuff, would that make it easier? Would it be easier if we didn't have to manually move thrusters, or does that not matter?
We're simply not as fast as their vessels. These are fighters we're talking about, and we're a cargo ship.
I know, but
It'll make it easier for us to steer, yes, but we're not going to outrun them if they continue pursuing.
That's what I'm thinking. They should be shorter range than us, so if we can just outdistance them long enough that they have to go back to base.
You think they only have 2 hours of fuel?
I know it's not necessarily 2 hours, but if we could stretch it to a point where they do, how many hours of fuel do you think they have, and can we stretch it to? You
probably guess that they have nuclear, fusion power just like you do, and you guys do not need to refuel.
So basically, freighters are fucked in this universe.
Well, in this situation, at least.
Captain,
Yes?
maybe the Mavericks have ways of doing things that the Ganjin do not.
That's why I was asking a Maverick.
Bryce, is there a way to do something?
Without talking to them?
Some,
Well, I mean, what I could do is, if I had access to their systems, like if we could send a probe out there that would let me hack one of their ships and spread something to the rest of them, I might be able to spoof their sensors. But I don't know how long it would take us to cobble together something that would let us do that. And I'm not sure how secure they are.
And as you pointed out, the problem is I was thinking we surrender, then we find our way off somehow. Like, we deal with it. That's not ideal, but we deal with it once we're on the ship. But as you pointed out, with some of us being Ganjin, that isn't really going to be an option.
I think that our best option diplomatically, if they do hail us, is to use Long's reputation.
Okay.
Have him look like the captain.
Speaking of Long, let's go back to him. So you've been working with the bioscanner for a while, and it seems like the doctor has set it up so only he can access it. Is there something, do you want to try to bypass it?
Well, that's what I was I just wanted to try hacking it. I assume I only have like maybe 10 minutes before the doctor comes back with the centipede piece.
Yeah, okay. So once
we're actually going way back in time here.
That's fine. I've been kind of ignoring you, so it's okay.
Because then after that I would head up to obviously find out what was going on.
Okay, so
in the bridge. So I've been quiet. I haven't said anything, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get up there or not.
Intelligence and computer specialty of hacking. Try to break into it.
Yeah.
And I think he got a lot of successes, so I'm trying to see what you get here. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got 4 or 5 successes. I think it was 4 to lock it.
So 3 and 2 10. So I got a 4. I have to beat his number?
I think that's probably good enough. It takes you that whole time, and you probably get it unlocked right before the doctor comes back, and he's carrying all that viscous acidic fluid and the brain matter, the human eyes. One of them has popped, and he doesn't put it on one of the med bay sections. He puts it on the floor.
Okay.
It looks like he was going to put it on the med bay. He was like, and he thought second of it and put it down on the ground. All
right, so I'll just sneakily just turn the controller back off.
Okay.
Well, I'll be able to put the code in now, right? Is that because I've hacked it? I know the code.
Yeah, you know the code. Yeah.
So that's all I needed to do during that time, and then I'll go over and be like, "Oh my God, what is that thing?"
I don't know. It seems like some sort of designer creature. If I'm not mistaken, that's human DNA and human eyes.
That's extremely interesting. Are you gonna dissect it now?
I think so. There's nothing else they really need me to do on the cockpit, up on the cockpit. They're trying to get back control. I think Theo's going outside. We're headed towards the Hellcats. I think this is going to end badly. I'm just going to focus on this because I can't do anything else.
All right. Good work, Doctor. And with that, Longer will just grab his kit and then just head up to the bridge. I guess I get up there when they're probably just all talking about stuff.
Yeah, you get up there right when we're talking about you pretending to be captain.
Yeah. Captain, what's going on here? Where's Theo?
Theo is outside maneuvering the thrusters to steer the ship.
Wait, what?
We have 2 hours until the fighters catch up with us, and apparently nothing we can do about it.
What fighters? Wait,
the Hellcat fighters out there. I just pointed them.
He's steering the ship from the outside?
Right. He don't do it.
How is that possible?
Moving the thrusters?
I don't... And then he kind of smiling, looks around at everyone to like see if that's some sort of joke or something, because that doesn't.
We all look like grim serious.
Everyone's serious.
You'll probably see the
serious.
you'll see the monitor that shows like Theo out there with the two Maverick bots.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. While this is going on, Bryce, are you still trying to undo all the damage that was done by Jyla because you have more time now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I have a spare moment, I'll be working on that.
Okay, yeah. So you don't really need to roll. You were making progress before. It'll take you a while. It's just by yourself, but eventually you will get control. The manual outside driving will eventually have to be undone.
Yeah.
But as of this moment, you're still working on it.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so we'll go back to Theo, who's riding on the outside of the ship like it's a space horse.
Theo will instruct the bots to just continue maintain this course, and then he will head back inside.
Okay, you'll see the blue of the rift. When you're out there, this is probably the first time you've ever been on the hull of a ship while it was moving in space, and in addition to that, this is probably the first time you've really seen the rift for what it is. It's just this long sort of wound in the space-time of the galaxy. It is darkened in places by the various asteroids that are spinning and tumbling, going along their motions as they always have. You see all these things, and it almost seems like they're dancing, spinning and twirling off in the distance. You don't see the Hellcat fighters; they're still too far away. But you see you see Saturn off in the distance. It's been a while since you've seen that seen that planet, but it's there. It's large enough to notice what it is, to recognize it.
Theo will glance up, and he'll take a glance back in the direction that they were heading in, and then glancing back up, and he'll smile and say to himself, "She really liked this view." And he'll sit there for about 2 or 3 minutes, staring at its glorious wonder. And then, as he walks back, he'll murmur to himself, "I'll have to do this again."
All right, so you come in through the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
It shuts behind you. The air starts to filter in.
And as you come back, I will go up to find you and ask you, everyone says we can't do anything and they're going to catch us in 2 hours. Is there anything you can think of?
Well, I mean, if that comes to that, I could probably try to talk to them.
Bryce suggested we pretend Long is the captain and bank on his reputation. But I'm happy to have anyone that isn't Ganjan talk to him. Talk to them.
Well, I don't see why that would be a problem. I mean, you're not technically Ganjan, and he'll do more air quotes to you and kind of give you a little nudge. You gotta, and he'll look at you and say, "Look, they don't know that you're actually Ganjan. You just have to pretend that you're a Maverick."
Oh, I don't think I can do that.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm willing to, but I don't think I could pull it off.
I mean, should they ever come on board, you'll just, you'll notice that he's kind of lost in thought, and he'll murder right back. Well, I mean, I think it's fine if Lonvier is the captain, posing as the captain, I should say. Yeah. The only problem I would see with that if one of them has a bounty on his head. But the odds in that are kind of strange.
How many fighters are actually following us? As I look into the...
Are you looking at the sensors?
Yeah.
It seems like 10 of them.
Oh, God.
How many fighters are normally stationed there? They can
There's
have way more than that.
There's a good amount of them. If you know that if they're on, if they're hired out as mercenaries, a lot of them will be doing that. Guard duty, escort duty, that sort of thing. You probably think it's rather strange that 10 ships are chasing you when you were, like an hour away, it's all
Right,
it
that's
almost
why
seems
I
like,
thought,
yeah.
like, eventually they'd just give up, and if we could stay ahead of them long enough, they would just go back. Like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah, that was my concern. Like, if, say, a third of them are always out on jobs, that leaves 2/3 of the supply there, they're going to send 10 of them away to leave it undefended. Like, you're not going to send your fighters more than an hour away strategically. If you get attacked, you have to have them to be able to get back.
Yeah,
so now I'm thinking there's something more going on.
Yeah, you kind of think that, that's the kind of the sort of thing that's tickling in the back of your mind. Like, why are 10 ships, there must have been something else here.
And we know Jylin wanted to bring us, so there's that whole Jylin thing. Like, he thought we were super important. They clearly think we're super important, and they're somehow connected to him. And he was connected to Earthers, so there's this giant conspiracy of doom kind of being formed in my head. And he was connected to Earthers to succeed. Mm-hmm. So, like, all the factions are somehow connected in this weird conspiracy to kill us.
As Theo takes off the suit and puts it up, he'll look to you and say, well, if you'll excuse me, I got some work to do. And he'll disappear off, and he'll veer off into the direction of the of his room. He'll beeline straight to it.
Yeah, and I go back to the bridge. We were able to pull something fancy with the Earthers. Is there any sort of way we could, like, when they all get close enough, and if we can cluster them all, could we destroy them all at once and some sort of surprise fancy attack, like vent engine exhaust directly into them and blow them all up?
That's a pleasant thought, isn't it?
More pleasant than them catching us.
Perhaps they're coming to escort us, to give us phase,
Perhaps
support our ship and give us, safe escort to our destination.
All we know is Jylin was working with them. Jylin wanted us to come here. Jylin wanted us dead. I am not really willing to leave myself defenseless and surrender when I don't know what the people I'm surrendering to might want to do with me or why they care. Like, they care clearly more than they would about a normal ship, about us, because they've sent their fighters out much farther than they normally would just to chase us. So they think we're really important, and that's scary. They might decide that we're really important and we need to be protected, but more likely they think the ship needs to be protected and we need to be got rid of. Or if they discover we have weird powers and all that stuff that's been happening with the rift it's been doing to us, they might decide we need to be experimented on, which would be even worse. Like if they discover your strength or anything.
Well, they would have to board our ship. They can't.
Right. But when we dock with them, they're probably bored. So just to inspect the ship they've captured. That's why my initial plan of surrendering doesn't seem like such a good option anymore.
I just don't think they can board with fighters unless we let them into the
no,
hole.
but like when we get to, if they're here to escort us and they escort us back to the station, we'll be helpless until we get there, and then they'll board us when we get there, and like we'll basically be at their mercy unless we can somehow plan a prison escape. And the chances
doesn't the ship have armaments?
Yes, but can we seriously fight 10 fighters with our little freighter's guns? If they were sending 2 after us.
We actually have a heavy freighter. It's actually pretty big, relatively speaking, because we can dock fighters in the docking bay. So our ship is pretty big, really.
It's pretty big.
It actually is like heavily armed, like we would have a chance, because I was thinking it's like fighting fighters with a bomber to use Air Force.
Oh yeah, that would suck. No, it's big. I don't know what weapons are on it, but I know that's a bigger ship, yeah. Yeah,
because if we actually have a fighting chance against them with our current armaments, that's one thing, and I thought we might when I thought there were fewer of them, but when I realized there were 10, they could, run rings around us.
You all know that the Hellcats do have a reputation for being the best fighters in the solar system.
Yeah, that's why I was figuring, 10 of them. I was willing to take on a couple, but 10 of them, unless we can pull some fancy trick that gets rid of them all at once.
Well, the Hellcats are mercenaries. We could always just hire them.
What do we have to hire them with? Given
we have extremely powerful technology on this ship that could probably sell schematics of it, give them that.
Yeah. But
Would they be willing to negotiate, or are they more willing to just take what they want?
yeah, when they think that they're going to get us, like we have to put ourselves in a position of power, because right now they won't negotiate because they think that they're going to catch us anyway. They see no reason why they can't just capture us and take all our stuff.
We
Well,
have
maybe
the power.
we should continue to head straight for the space station as if that's what we want to do.
But then, since it isn't what we want to do, we won't be able to undo it. Like, it's hard enough getting away from them at this point. If we get closer to the station, it'll be even harder to get away.
I guess I should clarify. You guys are trying to head away from Themis Station, but you're still trying to eventually get back to going to the Rift. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I was hoping, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
getting close
I'll
to
say
the
that
Rift.
Theo made sure to do that then.
Yeah, I still think, like, and I don't know the mechanics of this, but I still think that, like, we have giant engines, like plasma engines and stuff. We should be able to rig that into some sort of giant plasma blast that could take them out.
The engines are actually grav drives. They warp.
Well, okay, gravity destroyed the Earther ship.
Yeah. And they're fusion powered, so there's nuclear
Whatever they are,
power.
there's lots of energy involved in them, and if we can tap that energy and use it and connect it to a weapon, we have a massive advantage.
Well, until we get the ship fixed, those types of ideas aren't going to work. Do we have an idea of how long it will take to repair the engines to get them so that we can control them from in here?
So it looks.
Will be on us before then, though, right?
I will actually take a look, Tim.
Okay.
I have mechanical repair and
okay.
fairly intelligent, so
Yeah, if you
just to get an idea.
jump down there with
Bryce.
Yeah, he seems like he's he's right in the process. He's got like some of the stains from the not necessarily the acid from the creature. He's like elbow deep in all this stuff trying to get it fixed.
Great. Yeah, so I scoot in next to him. So how's it look, Bryce?
It's pretty
As I start
gross
going
down
through
here. There's been a lot of damage. We're making progress, but you might have a better sense of how long it'll take than I do. Take a look.
You probably think it will probably be about another maybe 15 minutes if you both work on it to get
if we're
things.
both working on it?
Yeah.
All right.
And you also see that the communication systems are down. Jylan basically put his sword right down through the center of it, so you can't.
So that's why our communicator's not working, too?
Yeah, you couldn't communicate with them if you wanted to at this point.
Okay.
Oh, no. So they may have tried to hail us.
Yeah, you have no idea.
So we're fucked.
Well,
Basically, we have to find a way to kill them or we're screwed.
Oh,
Bryce, do you want to switch to fixing the communications, and I'll continue working on this piece? I mean, we have a couple hours, so hopefully I can repair it, and then
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You think that's
I'll
possible?
do what I can.
you're better at communication stuff than I am.
So back in Theo's quarters, what's going on back there?
During this time, Theo has busily been assembling a bunch of parts. He's been taking out assembly arrays of various devices to basically make a makeshift communications device, and he's powering it separately with the battery pack that he has in his arm that he'll take out and stick in there. And then he'll attempt to communicate with the Hellcats from his quarters in his room.
Wow, nice. Okay. So what message do you send out?
The message is going to be a standard. Communications were down. Communications are now back up. And kind of, it's basically, I just want to see what's going on. And in typical ship-to-ship fashion. I will inquire, why are you pursuing us? Over.
This is Phantasm. Is this Jylan?
No, it is not.
Interesting. I guess that's why you turned around then.
Are you all working with them?
You have something that we want. I
What
didn't
is it?
expect for you to be talking to me right now, actually. I thought this was going to be an empty hull of a ship by the time I got here.
Well, plans changed.
Yes, you're kind of a pain in my ass right now. I don't really like things lodged up there.
Theo will roll his eyes at that comment.
You know we're going to catch you, right?
Look, what is it that you want?
Your ship is a plethora of various prototype technology that we would be most interested to have.
Like what?
Oh, you know. Just look around.
I don't think you would like it because a lot of it was destroyed. Look,
Wait, what?
Jylan...
What do you mean it was destroyed?
It was destroyed. Jylan got crazy, alright? I don't know what his deal was, but he died, and then he was cloned, and then his clone went mad and started destroying everything.
So you do have the ability to make clones there.
Yes, but now the cloning machine is destroyed.
I think I want to double-check that statement when we arrive. My calculations, we should be there in about an hour and a half. Are you going to have the doors open for us when we get there? Or am I going to have to blow a hole in the side of your ship and watch you all float out into space?
He'll begin sweating bullets at that point, and he'll be drastically trying to think of something to say.
Does the cat have your tongue?
Space
No.
Got the measles.
No.
Is there any way I can convince you to stop pursuing us?
I'm listening, aren't I? My foot is on the pedal, but I'm listening. The more you talk, the, you know.
Oh, look. What can I do to get you to stop pursuing me? Anything.
What do you have to barter? I am a businesswoman after all.
Yeah, that's right.
Would you be willing to share the plans for your various prototypes with us?
Yes.
These missiles are quite expensive. If I can avoid blowing them up, I won't have to replace them.
Hold on, just a second. And then he will run back and he will start making copies of all the plans from the data archives.
Okay. On the ship, you'll hear, Captain, Theo seems to be accessing all of the information for the various technologies on the ship.
Oh, I hail Theo. Theo, what the hell are you doing?
You can't heal. We don't have any communication.
Oh, you have intercoms. You don't have communication
intercom
systems outside of the ship. Yeah.
What do you mean what I'm doing?
You're copying the plans. You're trying to make a deal with them, which, okay, I understand you don't want to die, but I'm not willing to give that up, because automatic, we're just going to give everything. No.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, I got to look up the plans because I was thinking maybe there was something in there that we could use to fix the ship and get ourselves out of here faster. I mean, this are new technologies and stuff. I figured I would just work on a few quick theorems here and there.
Okay, well, anyway, if you're doing that, I'll come. I should probably be there, too. Which is both perfectly true and, obviously, I can be paranoid. Even if I wasn't paranoid, I would probably say the exact same thing, because I'd like to be where important stuff is happening.
Are you still there?
I will then turn off the intercoms and rush over and I go, yes, I'm still here. And I've got the data archives right here. I'm transmitting them to you now, and I am securing the entire frequency from our very annoying AI who's watching everything I'm doing.
All right, why don't you give me an intelligence plus computer? You can use computer programming if you want.
All right. I have a specialty in computer programming too.
Okay.
So that's good.
Will he have to be securing this from Bryce too?
Oh God.
I'm gonna say, let's see here.
And I'm running down there so I don't know how long it would take me from the bridge to get there, but I'm like running down as fast as I can.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're gonna have Bryce and Pawn. How about like a 4 dice penalty?
Okay,
I don't care.
How many willpower points can I spend at once?
1.
1? Okay, I will spend a willpower point in this instance.
You really only need 1 success to make it happen.
All right. Let's see. That's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Systems are ready for the transfer. How old are you?
Theo will say I'm 28.
Yeah, that's too young to die. You're doing the right thing.
Tell me about it. Do you happen to know anyone by the name of Anel?
Oh. That name does sound familiar. Yeah, I think I've flown with her a time or two.
Tell her Theo says hi.
And
that I'm sorry for missing our anniversary.
Some jilted lover from the past.
No, not from the past. Nope. And that's 4 successes with a 10 with an exploding roll. And the other one didn't go through, so it's 4 successes.
Okay, so your information is being funneled to them.
And as soon as that happens, he goes, okay, I got cut off communications. Pleasure doing business with you. Good day to you.
Perhaps we'll meet again. Thank you.
And then he'll turn it off, and then he'll smash the living shit out of that device.
And the Hellcats are now major power players in the solar
Okay.
system.
So at this point, the captain comes running into, he comes running up to your door. Do you have your door locked?
It's currently closed.
Okay.
Given that I'm captain, I probably have at least, even if it's locked, I probably have a master key equivalent thing, unless you specifically hack the shit out of that lock so that it wouldn't work.
Actually, I'll open up the door as you...
Okay, I run in. I see probably the smash remnants of the thing you just beat to hell. So,
I'll look at you wiping my brow, going, "It didn't work. It didn't work at all."
Man,
But what got smashed? Something got smashed.
That was the device I was working on. I was trying to work on a way to kind of boost our means of communication throughout the ship, and it just didn't work.
Yes, well, we still need a way to kill them. That's my one track mind thing of, let's kill them.
Well, let's head back up to the front. Maybe I can work on something up there.
Okay. Don't go back with you.
So who's on the cockpit? I guess we have... we dropped Alex. I'll have to try to add him to the call again.
That Bryce would be up.
There he is, okay.
Sounds good. All right, yeah.
Bryce and Long, I think, are right there right now.
Okay, so you'll see the sensors. It seems like the pursuing ships have stopped and are returning to base.
Who sees
Huh,
them?
look at that.
Longveer.
Well, okay. Yeah, I guess after I was repairing the machine, I look up and I'm like, hey, whoa, wait. Hey, guys. The Hellcats are turning around. Apparently they ran out of fuel or something.
They wouldn't run out of fuel. They have nuclear power.
Yes,
that
was sarcasm, Captain.
They wouldn't decide we were useless unless they got what they wanted. So I turned around and glare at Theo.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
What happened then?
We never got to communicate with
all our plans for our prototype technology. So now they have nothing they want from us, so they're leaving.
That seems like kind of a leap to jump to that he gave them the plans.
How do we know that?
Yeah, how do we know that?
Okay, well, he gave them whatever they wanted from us. I would think it would be pretty obvious to me that they wanted the prototype tech, but...
Well, how about this? How about
we don't even know anybody communicate with them. That's kind of a,
Yeah.
I thought
communications are down. There's a few things here. So how about we just do a social roll here, just because it's, it seems like it's a little kind of sketchy. So
yeah,
So-
I get that it's kind of like I figured I know he was accessing the plans. I figured I would have bought the idea that he fed me about, oh, I'm trying to do something, but then when they turn around, it's like, yeah, tactically that doesn't make any sense. Why would they just give up unless they got something?
So why don't we do like a social sort of role here? Because Phil's trying to have Theo convince you that he was working on things to try to.
Yeah, and I
stop
would buy that until they turn around. I think at least I'd be suspicious when they turn. Like, why would they just give up?
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
see how persuasive he can be. So
Yeah,
Phil,
I
why
do
don't you
have-
roll like I don't know, like a persuasion.
Yeah, I do have lots of social skills, so
I think subterfuge is lying, isn't it?
yeah, subterfuge is lying, and I guess I'll roll subterfuge against that or empathy.
Well, I think you need to roll empathy, and against it. What would you roll?
Empathy and wit, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that would be fine. And Phil, do you want to roll like presence or manipulation plus subterfuge to try to lie your way out of this?
Okay, well, I don't
Is
have
this-
nothing in. I don't have nothing in subterfuge.
All right.
So is this going to be my single die roll then?
How many dots do you have in presence or manipulation?
Both are 1. My composure's at 4.
Oh, okay. What composure is that like? Let me look up composure real quick. What's this?
Composure.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, would you use that to lie? I don't know. I think it's like a resistance.
No, manipulation is manipulation plus subterfuge usually.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So just roll your dice. See how badly you lie at this, Phil.
I will spend my last willpower point. I don't
Okay.
want this to go bad.
Yeah, and I have 6 dice, so
Oh, jeez. Here we go. Okay, I got 1 success.
I got 2 and a 10, so just 2, but still.
Okay. So the dice. Yeah. All right.
So I know something fishy is going on with you, at least. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily jump to exactly what you did, but like clearly you did something with the plans because you were looking at the plans. So I don't think it's that much of a jump.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a pretty suspicious set of circumstances.
Yeah. So like, what? Well, okay, you did save us, but you saved us at the cost of basically surrendering to them, giving them what they wanted, which is not good.
So all this is being said in the cockpit in front of everybody?
Right,
Yeah,
because we
right.
didn't see if they were leaving until we got to the cockpit.
Well, the captain and Theo are in his quarters, but I guess the
Oh,
intercom
they're still-
systems are open. So
Ah,
So
okay.
we were heading back to the cockpit, so I just assumed that we got there.
okay, well,
We
we'll
saw
see.
they were leaving, or were told they had left or something.
So wait, Theo, how did you stole the plans and you sent them to the Hellcats?
He will get very pale at this point, and he'll get out his handkerchief and start wiping his brow.
Captain, there were no transmissions made to the Hellcats.
Not that you noticed, but I assume he would want them to be encrypted.
I don't see how that was possible. Our communication systems are down.
Yes, but Mavericks are jury riggers. Our systems are down. That doesn't mean he didn't have some ability to communicate. I did find something that was smashed all to hell. He said it was something he was trying to move related to
Is
communication.
this true? Is what the captain's saying true?
They might be half-truths, perhaps.
Well, did you do what you thought was necessary to get us out of this jam?
Theo will then walk back to the window. He'll put his hand on it, and he'll look back and say, "Those are 10 fighter ships. There was no way, no absolute way, we were going to be able to fight them off. And I would rather not die out here in space. So yes, I did."
You did do it, Theo. And with that, Longbear walks up and holds out his hand to shake your hand.
He looks a little confused. He's like, okay.
Thanks. You probably saved our lives. Now help me fix this fucking computer board because I'm having trouble with it.
With pleasure.
So with 3 of you working on the various systems in the cockpit, you managed to reestablish the communication systems. You have now fixed all the interior stuff to be able to pilot the ship, but you'll have to reattach them on the outside. Because you still have Melba and Fred literally driving your ship.
Are we now headed towards the rift again? Or are we just headed away from the station?
You're
or what are we? Or we're going in circles?
You're not going in circles. You're not headed straight towards the rift. You're just, sort of like at a 45, I guess. I mean, it's in 3 dimensions, but yeah, you were traveling in a position that was getting you closer to the rift, but it isn't a direct, straight trajectory towards the rift, if that makes any sense.
I turn toward the captain and say, well, Theo obviously did what he thought, was best for all of us.
I know he did save our lives, which is why he won't. I'll leave it at this, but we failed, we lost. So
how did we lose?
They got what they wanted out of us, and therefore we lost.
Well, we may have lost this battle, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we lose the war.
Right, but I would have suggested if we were going to give them the plans that we give them intentionally flawed plans, but oh well, we never got that far because Mr. Idiot here decided that instead of proposing that to everyone, he was going to just do it. That's my problem. Okay, you saved us, great. Okay, you made a concession, fine if you thought that was necessary. You did it without consulting anyone. Even if I was incapacitated by stubbornness or whatever, at least propose it to Kazuko. That's why we have 2 captains. If you didn't think it was a tactical issue or you thought I was inappropriate to deal with it for some reason, which I will admit is a possibility, then propose it to the other guy.
Some classical music starts playing in the background.
Shut up, Paul.
You do.
Thank you, Pon.
You do have a point, Captain. We did agree to discuss things as a team. That's certain. But perhaps in the heat of the moment and all that.
Yeah, but it wasn't the heat of the moment. We had like an hour and over an hour.
Well, if you haven't noticed, Captain, Theo is kind of a, he doesn't mull over things too long. He's usually a man of action.
Right, which is good when he channels his man of actionness towards helping the team and working as part of said team. When he's working at cross purposes to us and having to hide things from us, that's not good.
Oh. If it's any comfort, if the plans for this technology were, initially intended to be sent to the Hellcats by Jylin, they could have got them from another source anyway.
Yeah. I know, but the whole point of stopping Jylin was stopping that from happening. I mean, we went to all this trouble of, I blew up an entire ship because they learned about the one flaw in their technology, and now I've just sent them all of our technology. Isn't that a worse coup for the other side than I did?
Theo will then turn around with his hands up saying, I thought the point was to save our lives, not to protect some stupid plans that people would have gotten either way.
The point, which is why it's acceptable, sort of, but we could have saved our lives some other way, if nothing else, by sending them flawed plans.
There wasn't enough time.
We're just going to have to cut our losses and focus on getting the ship repaired so that we can be successful in our primary objective, which is to get to that rift.
I don't think the technology means anything to anyone here, really. We're here to investigate the rift, if I'm not mistaken. That is our primary job. Whatever we have to do to get that done.
Yeah, I apparently am the only person here who gives a damn about, which I understand everyone except me and Kazuko none of us are loyal Ganjin anyway, and this was all Ganjin tech, so no one really should care. I don't expect any of you to care. That's kind of why it's a problem.
Is Longbeard still wearing the stealth suit?
Yeah, of course he is.
I'd assume it's not activated right now, because that would
if
make
there's anyone who's a tech for it, it's Longbeard. Okay. But we have to get the ship back in functioning order. That should be our next objective. So.
Yeah.
We should name the ship Thessaria, which is the ancient Greek word for trouble.
It's pretty good.
As Theo buttles around with the computer systems, he'll look up and say, "That sounds about right."
Mm-hmm.
Nice ring to it.
Yeah, that works.
Well, at least we agreed upon that.
So. We're making headway.
Right,
we're
making
all
headway.
friends. We're all friends
seems
now.
Like, that's a step forward in the right direction, my friends. So, Kazuko will clap his hands, and he'll say, "Okay, well, now that awkward moment's over with, how soon before we can get engine or steering control back?"
Actually, probably as you're saying that, I would assume
cool. Okay.
Dio helping, the steering's probably better as of right now.
Yeah, it seems like all the internal stuff is fixed. It just needs to be reattached, reestablished on the outside.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we still have robots and a couple holes in the walls to patch, but...
How important? Yeah. How important is the ship-to-ship communication, or is that even possible?
You've been working on that at the same time. 3 of you have been working on it, so yeah, that seems like that's been reattached as well.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, been busy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just, at the point where the whole Theo thing was done, I just left, because otherwise I was going to punch someone. So I just, go back to my cabin, punch the wall a couple times.
Classical music starts playing in the captain's quarters.
Oh, jeez. Makes him worse. Everywhere he goes, that sound follows him.
Yeah. At the point where I'm trying to meditate and that's distracting me, I will,
Captain, should I turn off the music?
Yes. Because otherwise I was going to have to rip the wiring out of the wall and try and shut it off.
I will leave you to your temper tantrum.
Good. Yeah. I'm very much feeling besieged at this point because which is kind of what I was getting at towards the end of that. I'm the only person here, with the exception of Kazuko, who gives a damn about Ganjin. So I feel like I have to defend that and not be corrupted by all the mavericks and terrorists and stuff that I'm surrounded by.
Wait, I care about Ganjin. I'm just not restricted by your honor.
But you don't care about Ganjin. You're not loyal to the Ganjin government. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I'm loyal to humans.
So Kazuko's the only other one who is, and he seems to be more concerned about the crew than that, and preventing conflict, which makes him good at his job, but means that I'm basically the only one I consider truly loyal.
So on the ship, up in the cockpit, Pawn says something. Kazuko, am I correct in asserting that you are the second captain?
He'll kind of look up and kind of shake his head and go, "Sure, you can assume that, Pawn. That's fine."
The captain seems like he wants to be left alone. You are aware of various destinations within the asteroid belt, correct?
What do you mean?
There are possible places where you could stop and make repairs. Or are you interested in continuing on to the rift?
Would stopping to make repairs increase our success at doing so?
Unknown.
Would stopping in this asteroid field increase our chances of exposing ourselves to any natural hazards or dangers?
Probably.
then I don't think we want to stop.
Yes.
I think we'll keep moving.
Just for your information, there is Vesta, Sarah Station, Pallas, and Eros as possible destinations, in addition to Juno.
What's Sarah Station?
They are just various asteroids that have been colonized by the Mavericks.
Ah, okay. Well, is everyone still nearby here, or did everyone kind of disperse to their...
Well, most of us are working on the stuff still.
Yeah,
doing tasks?
Yeah, I think you're pretty much all in the cockpit except for the captain and Bryce.
I'll hit.
Bryce is up there too.
Bryce there. Okay. I'll punch the intercom, and I'll just ask generally. I'll say, "Hey, Pawn just brought it to my attention that there's a possible number of close destinations that we can stop and make repairs if necessary. How does that sound?"
Okay, the only reason not to would be...
Oh, Captain, you're... I thought you would be sedated by now. I didn't think you'd be awake.
Yeah, I didn't sedate you. I was trying to meditate, and then this shows up and wakes me. So.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
The only reason not to do that would be if to protect secrets that have already been given to the Mavericks, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, from what Pawn's telling me, these are all Maverick destinations, so to speak.
Yeah, so if the Hellcats already have it, it doesn't really matter if other gangs get the same information.
Okay. All right. Good enough. Okay. I'll ask Pawn what the closest destination is.
The closest ones are Pallas and Sarah Station.
Okay. Pallas and Sarah Station. Okay. All right. I'll try to get Theo on the intercom.
Yes, you will need to reestablish directional control to arrive at those destinations.
Okay. All right.
Wait, where are you at when you're doing this?
On the bridge.
That's where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys.
Yeah, we were listening to the conversation.
I thought everybody.
I mean, it sounds more official when it's coming through the intercom.
I'm sorry.
Just like the way it makes your voice sound. You know, it makes you sound like a big man.
Okay. All right. So I'll say, well, what do you guys think about Sarah Station?
It's a nice place. Been there a few times.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Do we need to actually stop?
They say you guys are engineers, not me. Would that help?
I don't really think that we need the repairs that badly. I mean, the ship does seem to be functioning pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be nice to get away on our mission.
Oh, you want to make it more of a social call as opposed to a necessity? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, we could. I mean, after we get done with our mission. I mean, it's only been one solar day.
Wow, that's it? All this has happened in one solar day?
I haven't had physical comfort in 20-something years. I wouldn't mind visiting someone. But I think that getting to the rift is probably more important.
I only mentioned them as options. We are traveling through the asteroid belt at this time.
Okay, I guess then we'll continue on then.
Also, of perhaps important notice, there seems to have been some conflicts that have arisen on Ganymede.
But, so what Ganymede? I guess
The various factions have been... There's confusing and conflicting reports about increased violence and attacks. Various mining facilities have gone dark.
Is that a Maverick? Is Ganymede?
It's
I guess I'll... Is that a Maverick building, or is that Gungeon?
Ganymede has various settlements from various factions on it. It is contested.
Bryce seems a little put off by the news that things are flaring up again there, but is gonna stay tight-lipped.
I'll ask Pawn how she's able to get updates about current situations.
I just keep tabs on the datanet. You could do so through any of the display panels throughout the ship. Various news agencies. So, are you guys going to reestablish the controls?
Sure.
Yep. I think that'd be best.
Okay. So
I'm
I
actually
guess
gonna go. I'll go out with Theon because I want to see how he did it.
Oh.
I can't even picture what he did to me.
All right, so you guys both suit up in your environmental suits
Yep.
and head out the airlock that is right behind the cockpit. Your,
I'll just watch for debris and stuff.
your soft grab boots lock onto the hull as you walk through, and Melba and Fred are outside, and they are literally holding on to like a circular disc that can spin the outside controls.
I point to you and I say, all right, you see that back there? That's how they're steering the entire vessel.
That's insane.
Oh, not really. I forgot that these old vessels had them. Back in the older days of the pioneering era, they used to do this all the time when the ship broke down, especially when they got through solar flare chunks that would fly through, knock out all the systems.
The one thing you do
Pretty
notice
late
is
steer.
that they seem like they're pretty warm. They have a sort of a slight I don't know. There's a heat signature.
Around the robots? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, the robots.
That's not good.
But they are made out of old hover tank and juggernaut parts, so it seems like they are withstanding it.
So this is not a long-term fix; it's a short-term fix. And how do we disengage it?
We'll probably have to. I'll pull out my data pad and start communicating to them. And the orders will be to. Actually, have we already established our control?
Yeah, inside the controls are all finished. They just need reattached basically where they are right there.
Okay, I'll just order them to reattach the controls back to it now.
You'll see the lights, affirmative, and then they look at each other, and then there's like 1,000 little lights that go back and forth real quickly, and then they start to fix it.
I look at you, Lon, and I say, "See, that's how it works."
That's pretty impressive. And they're speaking in some sort of binary code that's being converted by your template right there, your tablet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. Then you're a cog, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
They often work with the. He'll look down a little bit and look back, and they'll say, they often work with the Hellcats.
Is it possible that we can create a ship signature that transmits that we're a cog?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Maybe we could do that when we go back in to set that up. That way, if there's any other problems, with most Mavericks don't attack cogs, right?
Oh, absolutely not. It would be practically suicide to do so. Not because that we're vicious fighters or anything. It's just that you lose important business. When anyone needs a problem to be fixed, they usually go to the cogs. To go against the cogs is to, well, lose business permanently.
Excellent. That could be useful. And then it seems that there's more to your dealings with the Hellcats. Do you have a personal stake in them, or did they kill your uncle or something?
You're asking Theo this?
Yeah, Theo, sorry. Yep.
Kind of stare blankly outwards and goes, it's of a personal nature. I'd rather not go into all the details.
Well,
Suffice it to say that I would have rather not wanted to engage any of them.
Good. Well, I still hold to it. I still think you saved us and you did an excellent job, regardless of what anyone else says.
Well,
and I'm quite amazed that you could create a laser radio that quickly out of cobbled pieces of stuff.
Well, that's not the first time I had to send Mayday.
You'll see that Fred and Melba have stopped their repairs, and they just they sort of walk over to a position in the center of the ship and just sit there.
Their backsides glowing.
Yeah, they seem like they definitely giving off some heat.
I'll send some. I'll send them another transmission saying thanks.
You don't get a response.
I figured as much, but he was going to do it anyways, and
you see that they seem like they're talking to each other though.
Can
Did you ever figure out where they came from?
It translates to fixing internal damage.
Oh, okay. What was that, Lon?
Did you ever figure out where these came from, or were they just attached to the ship when we first left, or when? Yeah. Things are still hazy for me when ever since I've had their implant removed. I don't remember them being on the ship.
I'll turn to you and I'll walk up a little closely and I'll say, actually, they're my uncles.
Your uncles? Is your uncle on the ship?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he did attach it. He's always had a knack for looking after me.
Awesome. It's nice to have someone actually care.
I know what you mean. And then you realize that he realizes he's making connections. And then he looks back up and goes, right. Let's head back. Make it a little hazardous out here with micrometeors.
Yeah. The flying rocks can usually kill people.
But I will point at the anomaly, though, real quick, and say, how's that for a sight?
Oh, we can actually see it from here?
You can see the rift, and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like an intense blue that sort of diffuses out into black.
I think Long sort of just stares, probably similar to the way Theo did when he first was out there, and just kind of blanks out, staring into it, absorbing it.
I'll look back at you and I'll say, sorry if I was a little distant with you. I didn't know whether you were some sort of rapist or not, or a murderer. That's usually what they do to people that do those things. I've seen a few of those camps before.
Yeah, I'm not a rapist. And I have killed before, but it was always in defense of myself.
Oh, yeah. But I just want to let you know I have great respect for you.
Well, that's mutual. As you're an amazing mechanical expert, I can't imagine being as skilled as you are.
All right. Just
romance on the whole.
It's important with these stars, the way they are, to get this out now. Because once we're inside, there's not going to be any communication at all.
Your walls have come down and you're sharing. Yeah. It's very touching.
With that, I'll just pat you on the shoulder and head off towards the hole, wherever we go in.
All right. So back on the ship. Has the captain calmed down yet? Are you meditating?
I am meditating. I have kind of passed out, just lying on the thing. Like, I am not going to be actively involved in any crew-related stuff unless necessary. I'll eat with them. I'm not going to be a dick, but I'm not going to probably be in many scenes because I'm just going to be crashed out on my bunk until next day.
Okay.
Like, I'm calmed down enough to function. I'm not really calmed down enough to go deal with the rest of the crew in the immediate aftermath of that yet. Because I feel less emotionally upset, but I still feel like beleaguered and like I'm the only person that gives a damn about society and whatnot. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pretty much true, except for Kazuko.
And where is everyone else? Bryce, where are you at the moment?
I think that Bryce is actually waiting for Theo and Long to come back so he can use the airlock for meditation, because that's what it doubles for, right?
Well, there's two different airlocks actually.
Oh,
There's the main airlock that's behind the cockpit, and then there's the one that's the meditation chamber / airlock.
Oh, neat. I didn't know there were two.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one that is the meditation chamber is closer to like the lounge in the front of the ship.
I just need to know that's not the one they're coming through, because I don't fancy having the air sucked out, while I'm...
Whoops, wrong one, sorry.
Oh, dude, who's that? He just blew right by us.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What's this blood all over
Sucks
me?
to be him.
Yeah.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are you're meditating then. Okay.
Yeah, he's just got to sort out his head. It's been a little bit nuts. Not that he's been nuts. I'm not saying he's gone mad. He's, he's totally on the level. He's just needing some alone time.
You probably have all kinds of strange images, just all kinds of thoughts and emotions bouncing around in your head.
Yeah. And that I need to suppress normally. Oh.
So what kind of things are you thinking about, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh, he's actually thinking about being back on the outside of Lida, which is actually where that hall that he was dancing in was. And he had like a little target range outside that he used to fire his rifle onto. He had grav boots on, so he wouldn't just be knocked back completely by the kick. I'm not sure how those firearms will work in space, but he's just remembering his one of his friends from the cartel sort of teaching him to use that as a relaxation tool, and as a way for him to keep his thoughts focused, or learn how to focus them more completely anyway. Yeah, but he's more focused on the action than the conversation he would have had at the time with Irene.
And Kazuko? What's Kazuko doing?
Well, I guess he'll still be sitting there in the captain's chair, funny enough, kind of looking out into the, to the void, into the distance. And he has come to realize that it seems as though, unfortunately, the stressful situations that the crew has been going through, I think these situations, instead of binding the crew together, is starting to unravel us as a team, unfortunately. And he's just going over his mind, thinking if he's wondering if there are any life's lessons that he has gone through in the past that he can use to possibly aid him in binding the crew together in some kind of way. He realizes they need some primary focus to put them all on the same page, so to speak. but it seems as though, as in with a lot of things, everyone has their own agenda, behind the scenes, and that's very troublesome to him. So he's wondering, if and when they even reach the rift, will they be able to, come together and face whatever dangers or mysteries may be there. So he's kind of thinking about that.
So as you're thinking about that, Theo and Longbeard come in through the airlock behind you.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll pivot around and say, well, how did it go? Good, I hope. Some good news?
Oh, it's all fixed.
Okay. All right. So does that mean that, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I guess I'll just go ahead and start repairing the rest of it. We got 2 bots that need to be repaired.
Okay. Well, I'll take it upon myself to talk to the captain and tell him the good news about that, and maybe that'll brighten his spirits a little bit.
Theo will look very unconcerned to a certain degree as you say that.
About me at this point, I get that.
It'll be like a shrug. It'll be like a.
Maybe if he's happy, he'll be less pissed off. That would be great.
It's like a. I got things to do.
I don't need to worry about idiots having tantrums.
And also the other thing that is kind of concerns Kazuyo is that Longbeard is still, obviously he thinks that we're still in a situation of extreme danger or something, which is, I guess, why he's taken it upon himself to continue wearing the the stealth suit, or is this, I don't know. It's something about that is kind of strange to strange to me. Something's up with that,
Well, yeah,
So.
you could ask him. Actually, technically,
Yeah, I could, but I don't know.
He's wearing the stealth suit, but he's got the jumpsuit that he always wears over it. So,
But he hasn't been walking around with the blade as well, has he?
no, he doesn't have the blade on him. No.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know. I guess he wouldn't look like he's built for battle. But I think he just probably. No, you'll have to ask him.
Okay.
Does Longbeard say anything when he walks in? I mean, I don't know. You guys are both in the cockpit right now.
Oh, when I walk in, I give him a little salute. That's about it. Then make sure that the engines are working properly. Hit a few buttons.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Turn the ship. Look, guys.
Flip the turn signals on and
Yeah, click.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems
Wipers.
like directional control has been restored.
Excellent. Good work.
You can see the rift off in the distance through the transparent alloy.
Kazuko, he'll get up and stretch, and I guess he'll decide that now might be as good of a time as any to catch some Z's. But as he's walking out, he'll turn to Bryce and say, Bryce, when I maybe a little bit later, I really be really interested in having a conversation with you about Pawn's father.
Are you using the intercom?
I thought you were here.
Because he's in the meditation chamber.
Oh, he is. You know what? I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll do that. Yep. Sure, I'll do that.
Another thing that Kazuka might notice is that there's nobody piloting the ship.
Would he notice that? Would he really notice that?
Like Longbeard's over there, like woo. Yep, everything works.
Stop.
All right.
He'll kind of look around. He'll look.
Give you a thumbs up. Good job.
Like it's heading in the right direction. There's nobody in the seat.
He'll plot back down in the seat and put his hand in his head and his head in his hands, kind of shake his head and go, "What the hell have I gotten myself into?"
I'll pat you on the shoulder. Okay, Captain. I'll see you later. I'm gonna take a nap.
Maybe somebody can start showing me what all these shiny buttons do. maybe that's a good idea.
You see that the course hasn't been corrected to have a straight trajectory towards the rift yet.
Okay.
You're still on the same path that you were to get away from the Hellcats.
Okay. I'll ask Lomvier. I'll say, hey, think we ought to at least point this thing in the right direction while it's moving.
Yeah, I guess some navigation skills, sure.
Okay, I'll get up and let him do his thing.
I guess I'll fumble around a little bit with the buttons, and then eventually get it to go towards the rift.
So at this speed, how long do you think it'll take us to get there? Do you know?
6 days, maybe less.
You can't get any more juice out of this puppy than that.
Actually, if you guys look around, there will actually be an estimated time of arrival.
Mm-hmm.
Say 32 hours.
Okay.
32 hours is what I meant to say. It came out as 6.
It'll feel like 6 days.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's better. Okay. Okay, all right. That's all I wanted to do.
So if there's any problems, I would just hit the button. This one, the one that stops the engines. And
Okay.
That's about the extent of my knowledge. So
Okay, I'll take that as that I'm not going anywhere. I'll sit here and I'll just stare out the distance. Not inspired or excited in any way to be just looking out into space right now.
I do point at the controls on the right side and say, these are all the weapons. I wouldn't mess with those.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's a weapon station, communication station, sensor station.
Nice.
Okay, well,
If that's all you need, Captain, I'm going to go down and see if I can help the doctor with his investigations of that weird centipede creature with the eyeballs.
okay, you do all the fun stuff. I'll just sit here.
Would you like to come,
enjoy.
Captain?
Enjoy.
Yeah, I actually giggle and just kind of walk out.
So when Longbeard gets in there, you'll see that the doctor is he's making some notes. He's taking some samples. When he sees you walk in, he just looks up and says, "This is the same DNA as the rest of the Gylans."
No. Did you check it twice?
I checked it 3 times. This matter here was once a Gylan. Or it was manipulated to become this thing.
I'm going to look at it a little closer. You had described it as centipede-like, but, does it look more like a backbone with a brain attached?
Yeah, well, he's got it flayed open, and it seems like there is a lot of human spinal tissue, and there's some vertebrates and along the spine of it. It does have a carapace sort of shell, like a centipede or a millipede would, and it does have all the little legs, but it seems like it's a combination of cybernetics and the acid thing was implanted in it. That was a device. That wasn't like a natural thing that it could spray that. It was designed to do that.
Okay.
I have some more things to add to my collection of genetic material, but this is disgusting.
Yes. Have you ever heard of anything like that before? I've heard of experiments that they would do, but nothing this insane.
I'm guessing in the lower levels of some corporations this kind of stuff is going on, but I've never seen anything like this.
Was it sentient, completely sentient, or was it?
It seems like its lower level functions were enabled and not so much the higher level ones, but this is going to give me nightmares just even thinking about what this thing experienced. And it seemed like it had to be plugged in to continue its life systems.
So it was draining energy from the ship to survive?
It was. A low amount, but it was. I don't know. It's just this whole thing is very strange. I think I'm going to go back to my cabin and just rest for a while.
All right. Is it still on the floor?
Yeah. He's been sort of like sitting down Indian style to dissect it.
Nice. All right. If you run all your experiments on it, I'll run a few and then dispose of it. I guess we'll flush it.
Yes. But yeah, please. I can't even look at this thing anymore. The science lab is yours.
Thanks. Get some rest, Doctor.
All right, guys. I think with that, we'll take a little break today. So I think my son just woke up. So feel free to start from the left. How about we start with you, John? What did you think of today?
It was good. A lot of fun. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I was really worried about the Hellcats catching up to us. And yeah, that was quick thinking out Theo's part. I wouldn't have even thought of creating a radio. So yeah. No, yeah,
Okay, how about you, David?
Oh yeah, I mean it was good times as usual. Some surprises. I will say that the whole the initial thing with Bryce was pretty creepy and and set.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, set a really just a real weird mood and vibe to things,
Like with like Gino the bot.
Yeah.
Out of the face.
Yeah, that part was freaky.
Yeah.
That was
While you were
yeah,
sleeping,
good.
Yeah, absolutely,
that was
that
pretty
was
good.
crazy.
Yeah. So I think of today, today's session. That was the best part to me, because I was like, wow, you got to be kidding me. Oh no, and but yeah, I mean, I really wasn't sure if I had one of those moments where I can't help it, just as a player, I still kind of look at things in a lot of ways like a GM would, and the whole incident with the Hellcats, I really wasn't sure. I was thinking in my mind, well, wow, are we really, is it something that we want to do? Do we want to talk to these Hellcats? Do they have any information we may want to use, or are we just going to be basically dooming ourselves if we do try to actually let them catch up to us? It was a really tense situation, and that's really good. I like that kind of stuff, so I enjoy it.
That's cool. I'm glad that situation was a little bit tense. I wasn't sure how you guys were going to get out of it, personally.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's kind of fun.
I was actually very comfortable with the idea of getting captured, because I figured then we'll have a couple cool, like a cool session of us trying to break out. It will basically be Death Star breaking out of the Death Star thing, or
oh yeah. I didn't think about that.
I'll let you know. There's no way Longbeard will ever be captured again. I would die first. That's why I wear the stealth suit.
Right.
Yeah. How about you, Phil? Any thoughts about today?
I really liked it. I was kind of dicey about those actions earlier. I was like, I don't know how much character conflict that's going to create, but
it didn't with anyone but me, and I can deal with it. And besides, like, I seem to be the one that everyone conflicts with. Everybody else gets along, and then the captain comes along and he's kind of a stubborn asshole. Like,
it's okay though, because conflict on a ship like this is kind of provides a lot of the story,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think of him as the stubborn asshole either. I just think of him as he has his way of doing it, and it's totally the opposite of what Longbeard does.
Right, and what most
yeah.
Like, we have the one other Gonjin, two other Gonjins. One of them is a terrorist who hates Gonjin, and one of them is a sort of touchy-feely, let's get along guy.
He's a pacifist,
Yeah, or as I like,
which will bite him in the ass, I'm sure, but hey.
My thing is like, there's a problem. What do? Kill it.
Yeah, and I think he's also a monk, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you've mentioned that in character yet. But.
No, not at all, because he isn't really sure how that will, what reactions he will have, especially even from the captain. So, yeah, that's something he hasn't mentioned.
You haven't even mentioned to me directly that you're a pacifist. I just think of you as somebody who doesn't like violence, not as somebody who is flat out, I will never do anything.
Well, that's true. Maybe I shouldn't say pacifist then, yeah.
Yeah, but I would have, I'm comfortable with you as is. I'm kind of annoyed because I was just looking at the crew manifest. I was like, oh, there's one Gonjan guy who I actually might bond with, and turns out you're the complete opposite of me. So I still feel kind of alone. But I'm not even I guess asshole is relative, but I'm very much the hardcore old school military guy. And you'll see I can be nice because I do view the crew is my responsibility. The crew are the few people I actually give a damn about, but also everyone in the crew is very different from me in ways that cause a lot of conflict.
I think I really like the scene where Phil was literally riding the top of the ship. I kind of pictured that. I can't even remember. I think it's Doctor. It's an old black and white movie about nuclear war and one guy. Yeah, Strange Love. That's it. Yeah. I was picturing Theo riding a missile. Yeehaw!
Dude, I can honestly say I would have never ever thought of that in any game I've ever played in, where I'd be on the back of a ship piloting it by just turning a little steering wheel.
I'd imagine it'd be like one of those little little motorboats. I'm just standing in the back, grabbing the handle, just turning it a little bit ways. I got some farmer's hat on, going, yep, better go mind them asteroids right there now.
Steamboat Willie back there, whistling.
Oh, better watch out for that asteroid there.
I got another solar flare today. Had another one yesterday, and the one before that.
How about you, Alex? What'd you think about today?
Really tense, which kind of seems to be the norm. At least, in parts. I felt like there was a part of me that felt really selfish about the first section of it because I was the only one who could really participate other than you, Tim.
Well, that's okay, because you weren't here last session at all, so, that was on me,
But you were throwing so much interesting, stuff out there and possibilities. Terrifying, but, interesting as well. It will be good to talk to Kazuko about that scientist. And, yeah, I'm glad we didn't die and have to end the game.
Yeah.
Yay, we're all alive. That's what I like. Alikov, do you have any final thoughts?
I will never... the captain definitely considers death it's a Gonjan thing, death is, I think, an acceptable solution, but it cares enough about the crew, and I care enough as a player that I'll find some way of finagling it so that unless the GM rules so, we don't just, my in-character stubbornness will not ever get all of us killed. It might get me killed, but it will never get all of us killed.
Well, I'm willing to let you guys be one big fat happy family, or be a big dysfunctional mess.
And I love the inter-party tensions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all
great.
I find that's good for these kind of sci-fi games where you're locked in the ship most of the time. You're
yeah,
you gotta.
And I like how it goes back and forth where I'll have a really I'm being really nice and tender to people, and I'm actually seem like I'm getting along, and then something like this will happen, I hate all of you.
Damn it! I was trying to like you all. Ah.
Yeah.
I was pissed at everyone, especially the doctor, for kind of beating on me for being so detached. And then when all this stuff with Jylan happened, and he was like, "No, I'm just going to shoot him in the face," and I just started "Oh, you're finally acting in a way I can agree with." And I was all happy, and that's why I gave you all medals. And then, I guess I felt like you were finally acting in a military appropriate fashion. You were acting like good military men, so I'm going to give you medals. And then, here it's oh, but now you're being insubordinate and annoying, and, so it just goes back and forth.
Well, all right, guys. I have to change Wes and get on with dinner and stuff. So, all right, guys. I will see you guys next week.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right.
Everybody. Yeah,
Take
enjoy
it
your
easy,
weekend.
guys. Good night.
Thanks for playing.
Take it easy, everyone. Y'all have a good
All right.
weekend.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.